Hey guys, I want to make a toast. Here's to those who wish us well, and those who don't can go to hell.
Happiness, my energy contagious. I'm a champion, take it and embrace it. I am another queen in the making. I am here to succeed with determination. I have a positive ambiance. I am so grateful, so gracias. I am the one I can call upon. I am my own lucky charm. I am intentional. I am the sun. I am my vision. I am the one. I am the purpose for my existence. I am my thoughts and my determination. I am intentional. I am the sun. I am my vision. I am the one. I am the purpose for my existence. Strategies, put knowledge in the book. Strategies, put knowledge in the book. Change our language so we couldn't read it if we look. Convince us we ain't have shit here but disease. Made us 3/5 human and black and legally. You put your fists up to being African American. How much history you went through for that to make some sense? I've been on Turtle Island 10,000 years. Akubulan been my neighbor. Pangea brought me here. The world didn't start in 1400s. Niggas grow up. What you think we was doing? Morse was running Europe. We been tribal folk, now it's time to show up. Bring back the villages, cause cities ain't got no love. Your melanin addicted to the infliction of pollution. Chemical dependency, nature the solution. Grow your food and medicine, build homes in conclusion. The enemy will tell a lie, infiltration as inclusion.
Less Nobodies presents Unica Monet's first children's book, Show and Tell. Find out what happens when a teacher uses her class's show and tell time to give each student an opportunity to share some facts about the culture where they're from. Read with your children and discover that it is time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength.
Hey, peace, y'all. I'm trying to make sure y'all can hear me. Hold on a second, because there's mad shit going on. Hold up. I gotta get my sound check in order. If y'all can't hear me, let the goddess know. Bro, stop running. I hope y'all can hear me. If y'all can't, just let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me or not. I'm dealing with so much resistance right now in my technology. It's driving me fucking nuts. Like, okay, I can hear me. Cool. That's all I needed. I was getting irritated. I was getting so irritated. Y'all don't even know. But peace, y'all. Welcome to the planetary forecast. I need my phone to chill and start ringing. We get it. I'm so very happy to be here with y'all. I have expanded the planetary forecast so much since the last time we were here, as far as like what I want to include and stuff in these things, so that like y'all can like learn. So hold on. What I would like to start doing is I would like to start getting into talking to y'all and utilizing like different vocabulary. So these past couple episodes that are coming up between the rest of October and the beginning of November, we're going to go through our own little Scorpio transformation with the planetary forecast. What does that mean, Sunshine? Glad you asked. So what that means is that the transformation that we're going to utilize is going to be in our vocabulary. We don't realize that we give life to certain like energies and cultures and things like that when we utilize the vocabulary associated with such. What does that mean, Sunshine? I'm glad you asked. So what that means is when we talk about the gods' names in terms of the constellations, the zodiacs, the days of the week, we are giving life to a culture and their practices and the things that they do within their culture, because we are speaking in faith of that planet, of that zodiac, of that day of the week, of that month, underneath the name of a certain other culture's gods and practices and stuff like that. And so, my apologies. I'm trying to get all my cameras in order because I do live on multiple platforms. I need to hire me a producer. And so I would like for us to start utilizing our personalized culture, you know, as far as when we're addressing certain things. So we're slowly going to go through the transformation of that in our dialogue. So we're going to start today. I'm going to be in and out of the dialogue. If y'all, come in, pop in, catch up and stuff, that'll be cool. So what I usually like to do when I start off these, I start off with putting the current planetary placements into our chakra centers, so I can tell you as far as like our overall self, what kind of energy you can expect in your certain chakras as far as from the universe, and you can align that with the energy in your personal natal chart. If you would like guidance or therapy in your personal natal charts or whatever, you guys can more than welcome, reach out to me for a consultation or a therapy session. I'm here. So we have our camera set up and we are here. We're going to start off with the root chakra. The root chakra we know is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is also associated with the Orisha Babalu A, giving off the energy of challenges and structure and groundedness and discipline and order and all those different things. A lot of people kind of don't really care for Saturn energy, but Saturn energy is here, to bring us, order out of the chaos, because Mother Gaia was born out of chaos, and we don't really like survive well in chaos as much as we would like to think we do. Lawlessness and all that stuff like that doesn't work for us. We are structured beings. We literally live on the hairlines of structure. Without your proper structure, without the structure of gravity, without all these things, we wouldn't be viewing things the way they are in this very moment. This is all structure. This is all discipline. This is all Saturn, that earth energy, getting things done, that go energy, very determined and stable, right? Saturn and Pluto are also in Scorpio. That's dope. My Pluto personally is in Scorpio. We're gonna get into those energies momentarily. We could start off with the Saturn energy, actually, because right now Saturn overall ruling over your root chakra is Saturn energy, and Saturn right now is in the mutable Aquarius. Actually, no, it's in fixed Aquarius energy at 18 degrees. Saturn is also, we're starting off the week in retrograde, and we're in the 6th house of health, wellness, daily routines. So this Saturn energy, this root chakra energy that we're working on, in this rebellious Aquarius energy, because Aquarius energy is all about being revolutionary, about rebelling, about going against the grain. It's sitting in your daily routine, which is being ruled by Capricorn energy right now. So your daily routine is being shaped by your root chakra, the rules and things like that. Hopefully you guys were tapped in, not my last planetary forecast, but the one before that, when the moon was in the Capricorn constellations and zodiacs, and we spoke about you creating some sort of grounded work for yourself, some sort of order for yourself, so that you can, move forward, because it will be tested, So we have that energy. Now, your root chakra is divided into 2 sectors. In fact, your root chakra is divided into so many more sectors, but we're going to try to limit this planetary forecast as much as possible. I could talk about you guys for hours. I could talk about the universe for hours. We have a feminine side and a masculine side, right? So in your root chakra, you have a feminine side, which is your internal self, how you feel in the inside. This is usually the voice in the inside, like, oh, bro, this nigga's crossing a line. You're crossing a boundary. Like, what's up? Like, I'm triggered. And on the outside of you, it's you communicating, or you showing in your body language, hey, this individual is crossing a line. This individual is crossing a boundary. How do you behave when people do that? When you do that, when you're crossing a line or a boundary on yourself, do you have boundaries? Do you have rules? Are you structured? Are you anal? Are you these different things? A lot of that is going to come from your Saturn energy. But let's focus on the feminine side. Is the Aquarius side. This is our feminine energy. This is our internal self that lets us know when we're either breaking a rule, that internal guilt you have when you're doing something you told yourself you weren't going to do anymore and stuff like that. All that is in there. Hi, Mikey. This is associated with Shango. So we're going to try to stop utilizing the word Aquarius, and we're going to start interchanging it with Shango. Shango is Aquarius energy, okay? Also associated with Asar. So you might hear those words interchange. Shango, Asar, and Aquarius are all, bundled up together, okay? And this is the energy of self-knowledge as far as the SAR goes. The energy of self-knowledge, the first sphere in the tree of life, which is power to be one with all, and as far as your body parts go, Aquarius or Shango energy rules over your legs, your joints, your bones, your meat, your muscle, your organs, your teeth, your skin, your hair, and your knees. Basically, the physical structure of you. Okay, the skeletal of you, the grounded work of you. Okay, the boundary of you, right? Because skin is the biggest semi-permeable membrane on your body and the biggest organ, but your skin is the barrier. Like if you have large pores, which is also something that you can find written in your either your DNA code or your natal chart, how big your pores are, what can get inside of your pores, what kind of bacteria can live on your body and go in and out of your skin, what kind of infections are you going to get, different things like that. All that stuff can be seen. It's very interesting. But moving from that, in Aquarius energy right now, in our feminine root chakra right now, instead of getting hot, we have Saturn in there, which I spoke on. It's in the fixated energy at 18 degrees, also still in retrograde in the 6th house ruled by Capricorn energy. And if you get into another thing we're going to start doing, link chat, I have to talk. Okay, we can do that. You can book me for a session on my website, on lessnobodiescollection.com. And thank you, Mikey. I love you too. But yeah, so you have two charts. You have your sidereal chart, and you have, which is sidereal and Vedic, and then you have your tropical, which is your Western chart or Eastern, because the maps are fucking wrong. I talk about this all the time. I can't wait till it's regular knowledge, but I'm going to start addressing the maps and stuff, how they're supposed to be dressed anyway, even though all that energy is not total as well. So what I want to do is, okay, so come back. I want to explain to you guys the difference between the Vedic and the tropical chart. So tropical chart is West Eastern energy, and this is also a chart that we created as well, but it goes along the celestial line, like the path of the sun, and all the zodiac energies that touch the path of the sun. And in all actuality, not every zodiac, there's more than 12 zodiacs that touch that celestial line. Which is really cool, because as we start to expand our minds and we get used to change and we stop getting so triggered and our brains stop exploding every time stuff changes, we're going to realize we have more than 12 zodiac signs. There's a whole lot more. So yeah, moving on from that, that's what that's about. It's about taking the 360 degree of the sun's path across, our Earth's, space, how we could see it, and dividing it up into 12 energies, 12 exact energies, which is 30 degrees for each sign. And so, that's what we have there for Western. Is it false? No, it's not false. Let me tell you why it's not false. Because it's still an electromagnetic field. And now that our minds have been collectively on this kind of zodiac reading and stuff like that for centuries, we're magnets. So we created that to stay alive. Us collectively having faith in the tropical zodiac as we have had all these years. Yeah, now that zodiac is definite, it exists. That electromagnetic field does exist. And so moving on to the sidereal or the Vedic chart is more so less on the ecliptic line of the sun, but more so on the actual zodiacs. So just like we had colonization down here on Earth, we also had a bit of colonization going on up in the cosmos, as far as certain constellations being cut short or being elongated or whatever. What happens is like Libra and Scorpio, perfect examples, because some of the Scorpio claw has now turned into a Libra scale, and some of the Libra scale has now turned into a Scorpio claw because of the Western, 30 degrees. You have some constellations that stretch across 3 zodiac energies. You have some constellations that stretch across maybe a little bit of one, like right on the side in the corner, or probably right on the line of two. So the actual readings that I like to do, that I try to get into during the planetary forecast, and because I try to touch all three, and I'm about to get into the third one right now, as well as my natal charts, is I like to talk to you guys about the actual star as well, because even though, like, okay, let's go back to the Libra constellation and the Scorpio constellation, okay? So you have these two constellations, they're kind of mixed and intermingled, they're in each other's zodiac energies. Well, now you gotta, let's hone in on some of these stars. Let's hone in on, the Denebs, and what was another one that I have? Antares and Graphias. These are all stars that have like a little bit of energy of both. Like Graphias has the energy of Mars and Saturn. So now we can really hone in on the EMF of the actual star and say, okay, this star actually gives off this energy. So there's actually three ways, three, and these are basic. This is just ABC, because you can go even further. You can go even further, because some of these stars are actually galaxies. We just see them as a bright ass star, or they're star clusters. Like the Leo has a lot of star clusters. They actually have a 4-star cluster, Regulus. It's a few different stars that are like that. But like I said, we can talk about that forever. We can get into it forever. I really just want to show y'all as much of the basic blocks as much as possible. You know what I mean? So coming back to Asar, not only do we have Saturn sitting in the Aquarius zodiac, Saturn is still in the Capricorn constellation. Okay, so Saturn is actually in the mutable Capricorn constellation at 23 degrees, still in retrograde, still in the 6th house. So, you're getting this zodiac energy of Aquarius on your Saturn, which is, the tropical chart deals with your mindset, your mind, your thoughts, or whatever, because it's not imaginary line, but it's in your head, it's images in your mind, they're not actually there. And the sidereal Vedic astrology deals with your heart and gut, actually bringing things into fruition in your emotions, because we're dealing with the constellations and the actual stars, which is like physically there, physically happening, which is why they say, like, when it comes in terms of asking somebody about like actual occurrences in life, it's best to use Vedic astrology, because Vedic astrology is going to tell you, like, oh, this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, or this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I broke that down good for y'all before I move forward. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So we have Saturn in Aquarius in our mind, giving us that rebellious energy, letting us know, it's time to create some type of new order outside of what we've already had. It's time to do some new stuff, right? And then with Saturn sitting inside Capricorn, you're building it up, you're planning it, you're creating the infrastructure of that rebellious energy, and all this stuff is going on in the inside in your feminine self. A lot of you guys are going into hermit mode, which is very valid right now, because like it's getting cold outside and stuff like that. It's harvest season, and the harvest season, all the seeds are in the soil. So we are seeds, we are sun seeds, yes, we are star seeds, so we are in the soil. We're going inward, everybody's going inward, and you're just building up that space from that inkling. Your ascendant energy is also in Aquarius at this moment. We started the ascendant energy this week in Aquarius energy. So it's been in our mask of self, because ascendant energy is like what you expect of the world and what you think the world expects of you, the mask that you put on outside of yourself, your physical self, and also the physical results of all the things that you've been doing. So right now it's sitting in Aquarius in the 6th house, still applying it to your daily routines. So you guys have really been feeling the inkling of rebelling against what you're used to doing. And I can speak to myself personally speaking. How has been for me is I'm trying to end a lot of cycles and patterns that I've been doing to myself every year around this time. Instead of going inward and really sitting in the harvest season with my spirit, my energy, my emotions, and my business, I'll just go outward and go get a job, or I'll force myself to do here and be here and da-da-da-da. And I won't listen to myself rest, because I feel like I still have like that worker bee mentality that we have been indoctrinated in in this realm since we started public school. You're not supposed to be tired. You're supposed to show up even when you're tired. I don't give a fuck about you being on your period. That's the first thing you do as soon as you go to gym class, especially if you have a female gym teacher. I felt like that was the first thing that would come out of a gym teacher's mouth. Like, you're gonna show up. I don't care how you feel. And thus teaching us to not care how we feel. I still got to go to work. I still got to do the whole full day. I still got to do this. I still got to do that. And that's cool to have that kind of determination and be so resilient. At the same token, you got to know when you're breaking yourself to make other things happen. You know what I mean? So, that's what I feel myself doing, this pattern around. I'm trying to break through that. And then even though, well, the ascendant is in Aquarius zodiac, and it's also in the Aquarius constellation as well. So you're getting that double rebellious energy. It's happening in your mind, in your heart, in your gut. You feel the need to break some cycles, especially with all these retrogrades, and the retrogrades are slowly starting to end right now too. Like, a lot of cycles are being broken. For those of you guys who don't know, on an astronomical sense, the ascendant energy is the east horizon line, where the sun rises at the position of your birth, or wherever you are at currently, and it changes every 4 hours, which is why it's really important. Not really important, but it's very helpful to know what time you were born. I mean, you figure there are 6 ascendant energies in one day, so you could at least get like some kind of idea out of the 6 rising signs of which one you could be, especially if you know it's daytime or nighttime. Then maybe you can narrow it down to 3 rising signs, and that really sets the tone for the rest of your lunar houses. All right. Vesta, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Vestal Virgins or the Vestal Fire, but there once upon a time in a culture there was a Vestal Fire, and the Vestal Virgins were hired to keep this fire alive. They had to keep this fire going. Everybody had to give in like 30 years of their life for this fire. And if you were caught, losing your virginity within that space, like, you were chastised, you were punished for doing that. Okay. And so don't get it twisted though. Like, I be telling y'all, like, Vestal Virgins, they were treated like VIP, like, they were able to go in different spaces and get stuff done. You know what I mean? They get the best seats in theater. They were able to go into jails and say, free this person, free that person. They had a lot of political power. Like, they were very respected beings. It was just a job of, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that shout out. It's just a job of watching the fire. And for my lovers out there that didn't want to be a Vestal Virgin, it was probably very difficult. But Vesta right now is in the Aquarius zodiac energy in the 6th house in Capricorn. And Vesta, as far as the constellations go, Vesta is still in the Capricorn constellation. So what Vesta is, as far as astrologically speaking, this is the energy, this is your devotion and your passion, your desires, right? This energy actually, like, if you think about your brain and your neurotransmitters and the dendrites, and which dendrites and neurotransmitters fire off during certain activities, you have certain dendrites and neurotransmitters that shout off activity and create a memory map when you're engaging in the act of sex, right? These same dendrites, neurotransmitters, will activate when you're engaging in this specific activity as well, depending upon where your Vesta is. Personally speaking, my Vesta is in Gemini energy. So this right here, I'm having the same satisfaction as sex. When I learn new things, when I'm in my community, when I'm traveling, when I'm teaching, it gives me the same satisfaction. Okay? So you find out where your Vesta is, and then finding out what house it is. I don't know the house off the top of my head, which is why I didn't say it. But you find out what house it is, and that tells you where you direct that energy. If I could guess, I would say it was probably in the 11th house, maybe in the 10th house, because this is where I get my success from, but probably my 11th or 12th house, because subconsciously speaking, I feel like spirit really put me in this place, being a Virgo stellium. I've really been put in this place of teaching and being a teacher, and I really enjoy it. And from my feedback from all of you guys, I do a really good job. So thank you. But find out where your Vesta is. And then the 7th house is also in Aquarius energy right now. For those of you guys who don't know what the 7th house is, the 7th house, it gives off Libra energy. the energy of balance and fairness, more so directed on one-on-one romantic type relationship, because we're dealing with the Venusian energy right here with the 7th house. But that energy is also associated with Oba. That's the Orisha. OBA is the Orisha. So we're going to start using interchanging words with Libra and Oba. So you'll start to hear the title Libra go away after a while, okay? But that's what the energy we have in our feminine side of our root chakra, all right? We have Saturn, the ascendant, and Vesta. A earth energy, and then two, like one is kind of like I guess that would be like a psychic Pokemon, the ascendant energy. And then Vesta is kind of earthen too. As Capricorn energy goes, now we're dealing with the masculine side of our root chakra, okay? Capricorn energy is associated with Babalu A. Okay, again, the energy of groundedness, creating some type of rule, some type of law for yourself, structure. Okay, so Babalu A is also associated with Seker or Ta, Ptah, and this is the energy of power, underlying structure. We're dealing with the third sphere in the tree of life. And when you hear me talk about spheres, I'm talking about the Netarus. And if you're not familiar with the Netarus, that's okay. You guys can always check out my YouTube page, Less Nobody's on YouTube. And myself and my son actually read Metu Netar Volume 1. You guys can tap into that, and hear about the different spheres on the tree of life and manifestation and stuff like that. Yeah. So this is also the energy of manifestation and creation. We know 3 is the number of creation, bringing things into fruition and stuff like that. And that is the energy that Babalu A gives off, quote, aka Capricorn energy, is bringing stuff into materializing it, bringing it into physical form. That is a heavy earth energy. So right now we have Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is in Babalu A, and that's sitting in the mutable energy at 26 degrees in Capricorn in the 6th house. For those of you guys who did not know, Pluto actually went stationary in prograde. What was that, Friday or Saturday? So you guys may have been feeling the vibes of like that transformation energy, some type of power shift in your life, whether it was with your job or in your home, some sort of power shift, or just within yourself, being empowered. Maybe you guys, when you go prograde, the first thing that happens is the lessons that you were being slowed down in retrograde. One of them is going to pop up, and it's going to be like, how is this dialogue going to go? For me, my stuff is always rooted in like career and business, because my career and my business is also my life calling, this teaching and spirituality and stuff like that. And I don't really engage in my love life like that, but like I have one and I enjoy it. I just like, it's the way other readers do it, how everything is about love. I'm sorry, but like, if you guys want me to start including love, please feel free to like comment in the comments, like, bro, don't forget the love part, like, because I will forget anyway. So you might have seen like a transformation in things. An example I'm going to give you guys is like conversations that I have in business. I'm trying to learn how to communicate. I don't like charging people for stuff. Okay, I'm really bad at it. I'm bad at putting price tags on my stuff. I fucking suck. Okay, keeping it 100 with y'all. So what I try to do, like, is something that I was trying to practice on while Pluto was in retrograde, was like, setting my prices. And somebody hits me up and they're coming with, a lot of people hit me up with manipulative energy. And I won't say that it works, but sometimes, if I'm already in that headspace, yeah, sometimes it'll work and people will get over on me. And I end up like, biting that bullet on that. And I'm trying to change that, transform that. So I had a couple jobs come up for me hosting and performing at events, and that's a part of my business, but I would never charge for it because I didn't know how to price myself. I still don't. My prices are low as shit, ridiculously low compared to how other people prices are when I ask them to hop on a song with me or something. But at the same token, it's the fact that I'm able to have that dialogue now. It's a big deal to me, and I'm over here like, yeah, Nika, gang. So that's another thing. Oh, so my mic is gonna keep like going where I don't want it to go. That's what's up. Hold on a second, y'all. Giving me a hard time, y'all. All the hard time. But yeah, so that's the energy. Anyway, so just to give y'all some fun facts about Pluto, in addition to it being about transformation and sex and rebirth and all that fun stuff, Pluto has been in Capricorn energy since January 26, 2008. And if you think about like some of the like really dope happenings that were happening around that time, we could say like Obama came into office and actually like did his swearing and stuff around that time when Pluto went into Capricorn and creating transformation in our order and our structure and our authoritarian selves, you know, manifesting and creating new things. So that was like a really dope alignment. If anybody knows, or, you know, usually, and something else I want to like come back to is when I used to, you know, look up this day in history and stuff like that and start bringing it to the forefront as well. But yeah, January 26, 2008 is definitely a big day when Pluto entered. And Pluto will be in Capricorn until April 20th, 2024. Now, a couple things are going to happen before that definite enter into Aquarius energy, which comes after Capricorn energy. The first thing that's going to happen is on March 23rd, 2023. That's going to be the first time Pluto taps into Aquarius. I think something's going to happen. A transformative event bringing in a new like structure for ourselves. I don't know if it's going to be like a government undertaking or some type of like releasing information or what, but I do definitely, you know, predict some level of, you know, transformation in that realm of things. The next thing, for those of you guys, I'm a fan of Keanu Reeves. He's also a Virgo gang gang. John Wick actually comes out on the 23rd, I believe. And that's going to be transformative to my social life because I'm definitely going to go see that, John. That's another thing that's happening on that day. If you guys can find out anything else that might be, you know, happening on that day to plan for. But I really feel like, well, I know for a fact that it's going to be some type of government undertaking in that space, something going on that's going to create some level of transformation and shift of power in our authoritarian space. And then also 11/19/24 is when the Pluto will also tap its toe into Aquarius energy, which I find fascinating because if you think about the date, November 19th, 2024, first of all, that's election year. And I don't know what date they choose to announce people, but if you figure voting day is like the 7th, we could assume that by the 19th, we're going to have a count and something's going to happen. So, like, you know, these couple of times that Pluto seems to be dipping its toe in Aquarius energy, it's definitely going to be a transformative event that's going to happen. That's going to remove us from the foundation and the grounding and the structure that we have become so accustomed to having. I really believe that because Pluto going in Aquarius, ooh, child, that sounds crazy. So crazy. And then the 6th house is also, and just to let y'all know, Pluto is also in the Capricorn zodiac as well as the constellation. So we're actually at the cardinal energy of Capricorn in terms of the Vedic at 1 degree. In the 5th house. So the 6th house is also in Capricorn energy. This is your health, wellness, and your daily routine. This is the house that's ruled by Eshu. If you guys don't know what Eshu is Virgo energy, and you guys will hear me. Like I said, we're going to go through our planetary forecast transformation, and we're slowly going to remove certain vocabulary to make room for us actually exalting the vocabulary we see fit, so we can really manifest what we're trying to manifest within our culture. Okay, this is not to take away from anybody else. It's just some shit is for us. So this is the overall energy that you have in your root chakra currently. Me and this microphone are not getting along right now. I don't know why it wants to spin around and do a whole bunch of stuff. It's trying to break dance on me, and I don't understand why. Just stay on the table. So overall, in your root chakra energy, you're gonna expect some challenges, okay, with the Saturn energy. Expect that right now Saturn energy is on the forefront of everybody. It's on everybody's mind. So check on your strong friends that don't know how to hit people up when they're going through shit. This is definitely the time to do it because you never know. check on the people that just check on people, period, because you never know what they're going through. This is a time where people will actually be going through certain things as they, people they compute change different. Not, humans don't really like change because, despite what your actual sign is, we are on earth and we're solid beings and we don't really change matter very well. I don't see any of you guys, turning into water and then evaporating. So, and that's also how your mindset works, change and stuff like that. It doesn't touch well. So some of you guys is going through the retrogrades that are going prograde right now. They're not doing well. Check on your friends, check on your family members, check on coworkers, just check on people and make sure everybody's good, because this root chakra stuff ain't nothing to play with. It's nothing to play with. And with Saturn still sitting in this energy, we're just gonna keep making changes and then come through to challenges on those changes that we're going to make. And so I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to start doing I'm not going to start because I always do the tarot cards different, depends on how I feel. But today, as I get through the chakras, I'm going to pull a card for each chakra, if that's all right with you guys. All right. I don't mean to make anybody uncomfortable. If I do, I don't feel that here though. When can I do your hair? It depends on if you can come here or if you need me to come to you. If you need me to come to you, I can do your hair. Off the top of my head, I believe Thursday is a good day. But if you can come to me, you can come to me tomorrow and get your hair done. Shit, you can come tonight and get your hair done. Just let me know. So let's pull a card for root chakra. Dear angels, ancestors, deities, energies in this universe, the last and the next, I come to you humbly and wholeheartedly during this planetary forecast with all my friends. Can we pull some cards for these chakras? And this time around, I'm going to start with the root chakra. So we have a reverse devil card. That's fun. We have a reverse devil card. Some of y'all is really not doing well in this retrograde. This comes back to my energy. Yes, check on your people. Some people are really falling under the pressures of, Saturn energy and going through these transformations, because for some of you guys who don't know, this week Saturn actually goes prograde. Saturn has been in retrograde since June. It goes prograde, and when we get into the actual week, we're going to get more into detail about what day and time that actually happens. But yeah, it's time to check on y'all people, because some of y'all are really going through it with these transformations and with these retrogrades and progrades. And I wanna soothe y'all, because there's so many meteor showers going on to wash all of that off of y'all. The sacral chakra. This is your pleasure seeking center. This is where you find joy. This is where you find luck and wisdom with that energy of Pluto, with that energy of Jupiter, which is Obatala. That's the Orisha. So we'll be, doing a name play between Jupiter and Obatala. Obatala is, father, like our father God, if you will. He's, the king of all other Orishas and gods in the realm. And this is the energy or the soul you go to for wisdom, for knowledge, to like set the tone, for other things to come. As far as, Obatala, we have Obatala in 1 degree retrograde in Aries, in that 8th house being ruled by Pisces. Okay. So a new beginning in the joy realm, new beginnings in the wisdom. Okay. A lot of you guys are getting new wisdom and stuff like that. And it's going to reprogram the way you see life, the way you operate in life, because that Jupiter is in the 8th house. Okay. And the 8th house is the house of transformation, rebirth, and death, and all those fun things. That is indeed the Scorpio house, the house of Oya. Okay. This house of Oya is, it's bringing the new beginnings to you, along with the Aries energy, which is Ogun. Okay, so you got Obatala inside of Ogun in the house of Oya, being ruled by Pisces energy, which is Olukun. Okay. And you'll start to hear, as I get comfortable saying it, y'all get comfortable hearing it, the vocabulary is going to change. All right. Pisces energy is Olukun. This is the feminine version. This is the feminine side of your sacral chakra. All right. And this brings on the energy of Mayat. Universal love, law, justice, balance, right? Truth. We're dealing with the fourth sphere in the tree of life here, according to the Netter rules, bringing on balance and then tapping into the celestial government to provide that divine blueprint for balance. And when we have that, don't we feel joy? Like, one thing I can say about children, they don't really like to be told what to do, but they crave structure. It brings them joy. It makes them feel cared for. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with anybody, you know? We crave that, and it brings a sense of joy, wisdom, and things like that. And once you got your root chakra in alignment and your discipline and order, don't you feel worthy of engaging in joy? And we do that a lot. Like, I worked all week, Monday through Friday. I worked. I earned my root chakra, my things that I need for survival. So on the weekend, now I'm in my sacral chakra. I get to feel joy, right? It's time to like hang around and do things for me. So that's that vibe. So coming back to Olukun, who do we have in this energy? We have Neptune. Neptune is an energy associated with the Piscean energy. Okay, so this is the energy of the subconscious, of the realm that you're in when you're in meditative trance, when you're in mediumistic trance, your intuition, all things out. It's like that sixth sense you have that's outside of all things physical. Okay. This is the energy of Neptune. This is the subconscious, and it's sitting in its home space of Olukun, the Piscean energy, and it's also in that mutable space at 23 degrees. Okay, Neptune is also in retrograde, so it is still slowing down for us to really tap into our subconscious. Keep meditating. I love that it's in retrograde right now while we're having all these meteor showers. We've been having meteor showers since September. Y'all already know it's our rainy season between the hurricanes and the cosmic hurricanes. Like, we are here, and it's a perfect time to go outside barefoot, ground yourself in the soil, get all those minerals, all those things, and let it go in. I love meteor showers because meteor showers are so on time, and I'll tell you why. Because we spent the whole summer with all the minerals and things coming out of the dirt, right? Because we, farmer speaking, and you can apply this to your actual self. Farmer speaking, in the summertime is when you eat the fruits of your labor. You enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? So you're picking a lot of things out of the soil. You're picking up all the fruits from the seeds you planted, right? You're enjoying all that. But while you're doing that, you're also removing the minerals and the vitamins and all that stuff from the soil as well. So then here comes the rainy season, right? Well, you had the harvest moon first, right? And we did our ceremony together. Thank you for those who tapped in with me while we did our ceremony together, and we planted our intentions in the dirt. And now here comes the rain, the physical rain. But cosmically speaking, also here comes the meteor showers, bringing the minerals and the vitamins and all those things from the cosmos that we've been digging up, and they're putting it right back into the soil while our seeds are planted. I love that. I love that. I love a good full circle story. I love that. Anyway, so we have a lot of that energy going on. So it's a beautiful time to tap into this Neptune Piscean energy, most definitely. And it's in the seventh house, which is the house of balance. That is the house of Mayat, of that Libra energy, that Oba energy. And is bringing on one-on-one relationships, the Venusian energy is somewhat romantic, but more so geared towards like bonds and unions and getting things in order in that realm. Okay. And Aquarius energy is ruling over that. So how you have been treating your mediumistic trances, how you have been treating your subconscious, how you've been treating all those things, there is an energy, an inkling going over you to change it a bit up, right? Maybe change how you are speaking to the deities, how you're addressing the deities. Right now, in this space and time, I'm telling y'all, I want to name the planets accordingly to our culture and not to the culture that's been given to us. I'm going to start naming them because I want to start giving them life. It is a blessing to them to be named by us. And we haven't fully been blessing them with their names because we've been saying other names of the entities that have been given to us. So I want to switch that. I want to switch on who I speak to and what gods I give life to. You know what I mean? So you might find yourself doing something along the lines of that. For those of you guys who are moving from religion to spirituality, or from spirituality to religion, all those things are occurring, and it's okay. As far as the Vedic chart goes, Neptune is still in Aquarius energy, still bringing on that energy of rebellion and making things different and be revolutionary in the space, and how you find your joy and how you're finding balance in that. And Neptune has been in this energy since February 14th, 2012, and will remain in this energy until January 26th, 2026. So we got about 4 more years with this energy. Yeah. With this, very big subconscious energy. And anybody who, has been tapped into the planetary frequency knows I absolutely love Neptune being in this vibe. Being in retrograde, we don't went back to the 7th house. But I really loved it when we were in the 8th house. And eventually, when Neptune goes back prograde, we'll go back into the 8th house of transformation, where Spirit will keep bringing transformation in our lives. But right now, Spirit has slowed down, and it's like, yeah, I'm tired of shaking stuff up. I'm about to let y'all go ahead and just apply that in your intimate spaces or whatever. So you go ahead and tap into that energy. And just to let you guys know that Neptune actually rules over the nervous system and the thalamus gland. And then Juno is an asteroid. I go back and forth between the asteroid and the dwarf planet. I'm still doing my research on what makes one and the other. But Juno is an asteroid. It's the 9th largest, and it's associated with the energy of Hera. And anybody who knows who Hera is, which we're going to get into the goddess that's connected. If you guys know the goddess that has a similar story to Hera, how Hera was to Zeus, let me know, because I can't think of it off the top of my head. But y'all know Hera was Zeus's wife, and she was a very jealous woman. Not entirely jealous in a way, but she was monogamous in a polygamous relationship, and it wasn't doing well for her. She was, killing his ex. She was killing his girlfriends and killing his kids that he was making with his girlfriends, and so astrologically speaking, because we done talked about astronomy, Hera is an asteroid in the Kuiper belt. Astrologically speaking, Hera gives off the energy of bonds. What do you need in a relationship to stay there? This is the secret potion. Like, how you're friends with someone and you're like, dang, something is missing here. And for that reason, I'm not very connected. Like, same thing with a romantic relationship. You can't quite put your finger on it. Something is missing here, and it's not really like keeping your attention. Like, something there, and I don't know what that is. It's driving me nuts. But that's what Juno is. It's the energy that's going to get you to sign that contract, to keep up that marriage, to keep that bond or that friendship going, and make you loyal as shit. And it also gives you information on how you deal with your wounds when in the presence of someone who breaks that bond, or is detached or disinterested in that bond or contract. It shows how you are prone to react. Okay. And right now, Juno is in the Piscean energy, the energy of Olukun. And so it's in the energy of the subconscious. You guys are really using spirit to guide your way with maintaining certain bonds and stuff. And I've had quite a few people come to me personally for readings, synastry readings and couple readings and stuff like that. Because some of you guys, as you do tap into your subconscious energy and your Neptune vibes, you find a bit of a strain between you and your loved ones. A lot of that is Juno also being in the sacral chakra as well. If you're not enjoying the bond that you're at, you're not getting wisdom from it, you're going to kind of detach from it. If you're not experiencing the energy of spirit from it, you're going to kind of detach from it. And that's okay. As far as the sidereal chart, we're dealing with Juno and Aquarius energy. Juno is also in retrograde, so it's slowing down for you guys to catch up. And it's nothing wrong if you guys need to have, think about your bonds and your friends, because I feel like some of you guys, a person popped in your head. I see a lot of people pop up just now. The people popped up in your head because there's people around you that you like, dang, I can't put my finger on it. But now that I'm listening to this, there is something missing. Find out where Juno is in your chart. The beauty of learning self is so that you can have better relationships with other people, and then have that dialogue with that person. Like, I found out my Juno was in this, and it's in this placement, in this house, and that means this, and it's in alignment and conjunction and sextile, and square, all these other energies, and so it specifically does this, and that's why I'm not feeling this right here. So what are we gonna do? Because where's your Juno at? Like, it's time to have go ahead and tap into those kind of dialogues and see where it takes you, especially because some of you guys really been holding on to that for a long time. I'm trying to walk away from giving people advice of, bro, just break up, just walk away, just quit. I don't give a fuck. Like, stop giving a fuck. Like, that's usually what my advice is. But I really want you to work through it. Work through it. And see where it takes you. As far as also in the Pisces, the feminine side, Olukun, we're dealing with the eighth house. The eighth house of transformation is also in Olukun. The eighth house is the energy of Oya, which brings on transformation, death and rebirth and power. Also bringing forth some secrets. Some of y'all been harboring some stuff and y'all been holding it in y'all guts. Y'all been holding it in y'all lower bodies. A lot of y'all been I feel a feeling of like somewhere in your reproductive system, there's something being held there. And it's stress. It's something that you're not saying and you're not expressing to yourself. It's not really anybody else around you. It's really yourself. Once you start expressing it to yourself, it'll automatically be communicated to the people around you. You ain't even got to worry about that part. If they got to fall, they got to fall. Okay. I hope you heard me, whoever that was. I hope that heals. My stomach just started hurting. A Sagittarius is the masculine side of this. Obatala energy, sacral chakra energy. And this is, as far as the Netarus go, we're bringing on the energy of Tahuti, the oracle, the sage, wisdom. We're dealing with the second sphere on the tree of life, which is the power of knowing and manifesting, right? When I know shit, I feel good as hell. I love it here. The only energy that we have in that realm right now is the fifth house. The fifth house is the energy of Orunmila with Mila, which is Leo. Okay. And we know that is the chakral speaking. Leo associates with the heart chakra, which is the midline, the midway between the upper chakras and the lower chakras. So creating balance in this space, creating balance in your sacral chakra is what should be on the focal point of your mind. Listening to spirit when you're I'm trying to say 3 words at the same time, when you're trying to indulge and engage in sacral chakra pleasures. Listen to spirit and let spirit guide. Spirit is not going to tell you to suppress yourself. I just felt a feeling of suppression. Don't suppress yourself. That's not spirit. Spirit's not going to let you to suppress your spirit wants you to feel joy. And some of you guys are very like sexual beings. Yeah, feel that shit. Do that shit. You have to have balance and discernment. And that's why you have to go back to the root chakra and create a sense of law for yourself. If there is a joy or something that you've been trying to feel and you feel wrong for wanting to feel it, you have to go back to your root chakra. There's a rule or a law there that's suppressing you, and it needs to be tweaked a little bit. Just amend that joint. And not to like be a backslider, but like you're supposed to feel joy. What happens is you have to have regulations for your joy. That's all. That's all. And that's okay. I'd be like, yeah, I like snacks. So I'm going to eat snacks. I'm not going to stop eating snacks. I'm just going to like only eat snacks at certain times a day. And only if I had certain meals. And I'm not going to eat a snack every day. Like, that's just out. You know what I'm saying? So you can do things like that for yourself. And that's valid. Okay? So now I'm going to pull a card for our sacral chakra. Because it's fun. Can we pull a card for our sacral chakra? I smell coffee. I have coffee. Ooh, the strength card. That's how we coming. The strength card. Somebody over here is feeling strength in their joy and their wisdom. It's a lot of strength that comes from knowing, though. Definitely tapping into this Tahuti energy of Obatala, aka Jupiter. A lot of strength comes from you guys tapping into this energy. And then especially because spirit is here. Neptune is here in this space. So when you are tapped into spirit, bro, you strong, you good. Like, and definitely, tap into this Neptune energy because it's going to bring you up into what? Our solar plexus, which is what we're about to do right now. Our solar plexus is associated with Ogun or Oya, aka Mars. Which right now is in the mutable energy of Gemini in the 10th house ruled by Taurian energy. So on your overall energy of your solar plexus chakra raining down on the universe, we have Gemini vibes bringing back kind of like, not kind of like, but definitely reflecting that sacral chakra energy of Obatala and Tahuti, that knowledge energy, okay? You know, Mars being in Gemini, you guys are being motivated by knowing more. You're motivated by knowledge. When you learn something, the first thing you want to do is exercise that knowledge. I want y'all to be mindful with the Gemini energy because one, my natal chart energy, this is my natal chart energy. So my natal sacral chakra is activated right now. My Mars personally is in Gemini in the 10th house ruled by Taurus. So I'm out here. This retrograde, I'm really trying to change the way I do things. So instead of me, and this is also the advice I was about to give you, instead of me being like, okay, I'm about to be here and here and here and here and here and do this, I said, it's time to find focal points. What are the facets to myself? What are the facets to my business? What are the facets to how I'm spending my time? And really paying attention, because you can only put so many facets on diamond. Okay, and that was the collage and it's looking crazy. The light ain't going through it the way it should. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of that Gemini energy that's going to influence you to push and pull yourself in a whole bunch of different directions to the point where you feel that strain, like, oh, I gotta have stocks and I gotta do forex and I have to have a YouTube and an Instagram and a Facebook and an Alignable and a LinkedIn and I have to do lives on all of these and I have to make music and do this and do that and be a lawyer and I gotta go to business school and I gotta do this over here. Like, you have time. You have time. And you don't have to do everything at once because you're doing yourself a disservice when you do that. And that's not where the power is coming from. The power is not in how many different places you could stretch yourself, because we did that already, didn't we? When we were inside of the matrix that was created by the United States Corporation, and in this dialogue, I'm assuming that some of you guys have knowledge of being a private citizen, and some of you have knowledge of removing yourself from the public and all that stuff like that. I'm going to assume that in this dialogue. And if you don't, I can point you to the teachers of that realm. I'm not a teacher of that realm. I'm a student. But I could definitely point you in the direction of learning more. But coming back, rewind. One thing we do want to learn is we came from that already. You went to school, you had a job, you needed a second job because you got to pay bills, and now you're a parent and you have to be present in the PTA, and now, whoa, you want to date, you want to be somebody's girlfriend or somebody's husband, and so now you're dating and you have multiple kids and you're in different schools, and now you got 2 jobs, and now you got to go here and do this. We did the roll straight already. We tired ourselves out already. Spirit did not bring you into this realm for you to do the same shit you was doing in the other realm. Like, this ain't that. You don't have to do that here. You can take your time. You can enjoy the journey instead of being rushed to the finished product, trying to hurry up and always have a finished product. That's what a lot of that Gemini energy is. I need to hurry up and have a finished product. It has to be finished. It has to be finished. I have to show that I'm on top of this, that I know what I'm doing, that the knowledge is here. You can take your time here. Slow down. Okay. And that's on the overall of self. Okay. And the solar plexus chakra is associated with the power, self-expression, you know what I mean? Self-esteem, your willpower and stuff like that. Aries, the energy of Ogun, is the feminine side of our solar plexus chakra, and that's associated with the Neteru energy of Herakuti, the enforcement of law. We're dealing with courage, fearlessness, the 5th sphere on the tree of life, which is enforcement by a celestial government. Okay. New beginnings. I love Ogun energy, because when I'm in the presence of an Ogun energy, I just feel like I trust the leader. Like, I don't always trust what they're leading in, but I trust that you are going to lead. Like, you're going to make sure that it gets done, and you're the catalyst, you're the initiator, you are the one that's going to change minds and change hearts. And that's not an easy job for an Aries being, especially my Aries rising babies out there. It's not an easy job at all because you're literally breaking the vortex. You're the one that goes through the meniscus, which is like a very tough membrane to go through, and you're the one to do it, and that's a lot. That's a lot. So, kudos to all my pioneers out here. Peace to you, and tap into your solar plexus chakra, definitely. Um, Jupiter is inside of this Ogun energy, and the cardinal part actually at 1 degree. Jupiter is also in retrograde. Obatala is in retrograde right now, so Obatala is slowing down for you to catch the wisdom of the solar plexus chakra. Ashe, okay. This kind of like intertwines the solar plexus chakra and the sacral chakra because we know Obatala rules over the sacral chakra and it's sitting in the solar plexus. So it's tying in the wisdom and the knowledge and the luck and the generosity and stuff like that and your power, and you're going to find joy. You're finding joy in it. You're finding joy in it, and you're creating transformation and new beginnings in your life and the people around you, even if it's unintentionally. Like one day, I have a girlfriend, shouts to Mahatma. I don't know if she's tapped in, but what she does is she does henna on her face. I've never seen that shit before. And she's practicing henna. So it's like, when she walks outside, she's creating transformation to people around her because I'm pretty sure, me being in the space I am, if I don't see that on an everyday basis, I know people who have seen less than I've seen in the spiritual realm. They really ain't never seen that shit. So as she walks out the door with the henna on her face, she's automatically creating 8th house everywhere she goes because people are looking like, is that henna that's on her face? Are those sigils? Are those they? Like, she's really out here like putting healing on her face. She got healing symbols on her face, like, and it transforms how that person may have would addressed her had she not came out with that on her face. You know what I'm saying? How they communicate with her, the series of events that would have happened had she not had it on her face, shit like that. So, and she thoroughly enjoys doing it. It brings her joy. The more she learns about the sigils, she done did it on my face before. Like, it brings her joy, but it also brings her power to walk in a room and everybody have to sit and look at her a certain way because, I demand that with this. And the same thing when I walk around with my crown. And it just so happens that my crown has a garnet stone in the middle, which is associated with the house of Oya, the 8th house of transformation. It's sitting right on my 3rd eye. So as I walk in space, I already know my spiritual self, my 3rd eye, and my crown chakra is creating transformation to the people around me. Do she got a crown on? The fuck she got a crown on for? Like, who she think she is? I know who I am. You want to get to know me? Because I create some transformation in your space real quick. Like, shit like that. It's a thing, and it's something that a lot of people do and they don't think too much about because it could be something as small as the crystals that I wear on my finger, and maybe I hand somebody some money and they see the ring on my finger and they be like, yo, what's that? I've never seen that before. It could be as simple as me just walking around with short sleeves on, and I got all these tattoos that have like Veves and Adinkra symbols and chakra symbols. It's just as simple. It's really that simple for a lot of us that have been walking in this realm. When I walk around with this on, this ain't no gold chain. This is a copper chain. Shout out to Cosmic Vision Jewelry that made me this chain. Shout out to Ray Moose that made me this pendant. My logo. It creates conversation. The first thing somebody come up to me like, oh, that's Nefertiti. Nefertiti, no, this Hasafoot. Actually, this is me. This is my likeness right here with this crown on. So, it's that simple. It's that simple. It's power and it's joy that comes in that, and Jupiter definitely bringing the transformation. You hear me? And for those of you guys who don't know, Obatala rules over the thighs, fat, brain, liver, kidneys, lungs, your ear, your tongue, your memory, and your spleen. For those of you guys don't know, there's some attacks on the Obatala happening with these little 15-second videos and 5-second videos. You want to be seen, you got to make a 5-second video now. Yeah, you can still make 3 minutes, but they ain't gonna be seen as much as that 5-second joint. Like shit like that. Like being mindful and aware of stuff like that is also another thing, but it's definitely a war going on y'all memory and obtaining memories. And I see that a lot with the different weed everybody be smoking. Their short-term memory is out of here. You walk into a room and forget why, and that's a lot. It's also switching up y'all dreams because y'all know every time y'all walk under a threshold, oh, my contact just was like, yeah, I'm done with you. Soon as you walk into a new threshold in your dreams, you know, you knock your memory out of where you just came from and stuff, and that's starting to happen way more often because y'all not sleeping through the night the way y'all supposed to. Y'all got all these technologies in y'all room and all that stuff. That stuff like make you roll over a lot in your sleep, and every time you roll over, you enter into a new space. My son actually put me on that, and I expounded on it in my knowledge, and I did some research, and I was like, oh, he's right. That's crazy. So like that's where we at now. Like yeah, so it's a lot of energy going towards Obatala right now, the king of gods. You know, in addition to that, as far as like on the sidereal chart, Obatala is in the energy of Olukun Pisces in that 8th house of Oya. Okay, so it's in Aries on the Western chart, bringing in new beginnings with your wisdom, and then in your actions and in your heart chart, it's you know, bringing in transformation with that 8th house, and you're definitely tapped into your subconscious. Excuse me as I poke myself in the eye. My contact fell out. That wasn't fun. Chiron is also in this energy. Chiron is also in the energy of Ogun in that 8th house Oya energy, being ruled over by, Olukun, which is Pisces energy. Chiron is like an asteroid / dwarf planet type energy. We talked about this earlier. It spends about 4 years in each zodiac. It spends about 7 or 8 years in the Aries zodiac, and it spends about 2 years in the Libra and Virgo zodiac. In fact, it entered Ogun energy and what does that say? April 17th, 2018, and it will remain in this energy until June 19th, 2026. So we got about 3 years, almost 4 years in this Aries energy, in this Ogun energy. And what is Chiron? I'm glad you asked. Okay, so Chiron is an asteroid. It gives off the energy of your wounds and how you turn your wounds into a superpower. The first, like, I'll give you an example. My Chiron is in Cancer. What house is it in? I can't tell you off the top of my head. But it's in Cancer. So a lot of my wounds and my traumas come from feminine figures, maternal figures. It comes a lot from my home and my family. You know, that's where a lot of my trauma comes from. And that's real shit. That's where a lot of my trauma comes from. That's and like, you know, that's the mantra in my head. Like, bro, if my family and my mom and my dad didn't do this, what made me think you gonna do it? Like, that's, yeah, it's valid. So when you find out where that is, it changes how you turn it into a superpower. So I healed my relationship. Well, I'm trying to heal my relationship with my family. The family members I really give a fuck about, those relationships are healed. And you know, I'm a mother now. And I'm trying to, you know, break some of the things that, you know, brought me up. I don't want to bring my kids up, but they want to bring them up with something different. So, you know, as I'm using my power as a mother to do different things. So I'm turning that trauma into a superpower. Also, I shared my story on my website, letsnobodiescollection.com. I shared my wounds. I shared my Chiron with y'all. And, you know, it created a lot of transformation in y'all. Thank you guys so much for your feedback, because that was a lot for me to even share that with y'all. I've never, you know, really typed that story out in so much detail before. But it was empowering when I finished. I feel like I released so much when I did. So, like, you know, I appreciate the transformation that it brought to other people's lives. And the thing with Chiron is Chiron doesn't just go on a regular like rotation. You know, Chiron goes in an up and down rotation, which is why it spends about 8 years in Aries, because it's not just going forward, it's also going up and then down, which makes it take a whole lot longer. And then, you know, and it actually doesn't go through all 12 zodiacs either, because it goes up and down and stuff. You know, Chiron is in its own like little realm. And to keep it 100, I personally believe that a lot of our celestial bodies also move like that. And the more that I learn, because we do have declinations and ascensions of our planets and stuff, I'm going to start sharing that with y'all, especially when we start applying more of the astrocartography into these planetary forecasts. The next energy that we have after Chiron, we have Aries. Aries is the energy of discord. This is our rebellious side. Excuse me. Yeah, this is our rebellious side. This is, the lack of harmony in things. When Aries was Aries, as far as like in the Neteru, it gives off the energy of Anana, and Aries has one moon, which gives off the energy of Nekbet. Anana is a winged goddess. Who is the winged goddess of Egypt? Top quiz. Tell me, because it's not on the top of my head. But yes, that one too. Is it Sasha? I forget. But when they first found it, they named this planet and its moon Xena and Gabriella from the show Xena. This is a feminine planet, obviously, of the energy of discord and disharmony. And the moon brings on the energy of lawlessness. Okay. It brings you back to your like innate self, your rebellious side. How do you rebel? What are you going to rebel about? Like, what is the source of your rebel? What makes you be like, fuck that? Like, what does that for you? Things like that. Aries is actually twice as far. Pluto, yeah, it's far from Pluto. It's like 2 orbits away from Pluto, but then it's like 3 times further from the sun. It takes Aries about 557 years to orbit around. And it moves above and below other planets' orbits. Like I said, Aries has been in this energy of Ogun since 1925. And a lot of energy that's associated with Aries entering Ogun is the energy, because Aries is a feminine energy and its moon is also a feminine energy, and it's the energy of lawlessness. They associate that energy with the women's movement. At this time, women started rebelling again, and they equal rights and changing how women held down the household and how they were in business, and equal pay rights, and you got the LGBTQ. And I'm not really in that community, but it really feels like the men and the women are very separate. I don't really see them too much in each other's movements unless it's a transsexual. And even then, I don't really see it much. But that's me on the outside looking in, because I'm not fully in there. I mind my business. So, that's just what I see in my reality. You're more than welcome to argue with me and call me a dumbass in the comments. I'm okay with it, because in that room, I am a dumbass. I mind my business. Anyway. But that's just what I see in that room. And, it's just like just women just like pioneering and getting shit done. Like, you have those years where, the Aboriginal woman was the most educated, the most, the souls who graduated from college the most were Aboriginal women and stuff like that. So, you do see that going on. Like, it's the age of the woman in terms of Aries energy. It's the age of the woman. As far as and it's bringing in new beginnings. That's the Aries energy. That's the Ogun energy, and it's in the house of Oya, which is the 8th house of transformation. And what energy is ruling the 8th house of Oya? You're right, it's Pisces energy of Olukun. Look at y'all listening. I love it here. But yeah, that's going to keep bringing transformation to our homes and how we conduct ourselves and things like that. And that's very exciting. The 9th house is also in this Ogun energy, and that's the energy of Obatala. Still, again, solidifying that energy of Obatala, of Tahuti, of wisdom, and, just being able to tap into this God of all gods. You know what I mean? Also, traveling, expanding your philosophies, your mindset on things. A lot of you guys sit on the throne of lies. It's time to expand your mindset so you can sit on the throne of truth. There's power in that bitch. Okay. So on the masculine side of your solar plexus chakra, we have Oya energy, which is what? It's Scorpio sunshine. Y'all been listening. I love it here. So this Oya energy is on the masculine side of your solar plexus chakra. So while you're on the inside on your power trip, on the outside, you could be doing absolutely nothing about it. Or on the outside, you can be like, yeah, I'm with the shits. So on the inside of self, you're gathering as much knowledge as you can, and you're rebelling, and you're gathering, information and strength from your traumas, and you're rebelling against that, and all those different things going on the inside. Now, what are you showing on the outside? On the outside, you showing success, baby, because that midheaven is in Oya. You heard me? Midheaven is like the highest point of the sky, in the middle of the sky, and it changes 1 degree 1 degree is equal to 69-mile radius. So 1 degree is 69-mile big ass circle. Okay? For those of you guys who don't know, that's the math. But midheaven is sitting in the energy of Oya in that fourth house of Yamoja energy, which is Cancer, domestication, house and family, intuitive energy. Okay. And that's sitting on the throne of Oya. Oya energy is ruling over the house of Yamoja. Okay. And that's really dope. Bringing on that energy of transformation into our home and our family and success is the success is going to your home and your family. What does that mean, sunshine? It means you're breaking generational curses. It's affecting how your seeds and the seeds of your brothers and sisters and cousins are going to carry on y'all lineage. Sometimes it's bigger than you just talking to your own kids. Sometimes you gotta call your sibling or your cousins or whoever and be like, bro, bring your kids over. I'm finna do this live, and I like to have my kids here when I'm doing the live, or we about to read this book, or I homeschool my kids. So like, bring them over, even though they in public school. Maybe they still in public school. Maybe you could pull like, bro, bring them over after school, and I'll keep one of my classes during after school hours so I could teach my kids and your kids. Like, we are really bringing change and healing to our lineage with this midheaven energy in our solar plexus chakra, and it's a whole vibe. And I hope y'all really hugging the shit out of it. It doesn't make me cringe when people send their children to public school, because I get it. You got to do what you got to do. At the same token, like, even when my son was in public school, when he came home from school, he did his homework from them, and he had homework from me. I never played with my son. And then when COVID happened, it was finally like a green light, like, bro, just pull your baby out. So now my baby is all the way out. So now he don't got to worry about homework from them. It's just homework from me. So, that's the switcheroos you can do. Did I tell you that the midheaven changes the zodiac every 2 hours, which is why it's important to know what time you're born? If I didn't, I'm saying it now. And also on the sidereal chart, the midheaven is still in Oya energy. So that's a whole lot that I'm very excited about. So on the outside of stuff, you guys are really like, y'all out there, guys. The fortune is also on the outside of self. Fortune is the crossing lines of the rising, the ascendant. No, it's the rising and the sun and the moon ecliptical. So the path of the sun, the path of the moon, and the rising, those three lines together, where they cross that brings the line of fortune. And right now, the fortune is sitting in your Oya energy too. So on the inside, you're building, and you're healing, and you're rebelling, and you're gaining wisdom, you're educating yourself, and then the outside, you just succeeded. You succeeded, and the pinnacles is coming. And we're dealing with the fourth house in this realm, which is the energy of Yamoja, which is sitting on your masculine joint. So it's being directed towards your home and your family. Okay? Your home and your family is being affected by this. No, you're not about to be like, bro, but I'm still on Instagram. I heard that. Like, bro, my business still not where it's at. Bro, I'm still on Instagram with 300 followers. Bro, no. It's directed towards your home and family. Your home and family, you're moving into that solar plexus chakra, and you're really making those changes. And that's really why we're here. Don't get distracted by all this matrixy shit, because it's like you went out of one matrix and we're in another. Like, they have a bubble for every little thing we try to do. So be mindful of the bubbles you find yourself getting caught up in. Protecting your lineage and providing information and healing to your lineage is why you're here. All this extra shit, I need Instagram and I need a business and I need to fill out all this paperwork to prove to people I'm a sovereign person and all shit. That's not why you were brought here. Those are details. Those are actions that you might have to do while you're here. That's not why you're here. So your success might not come in those steps right away, or they might not come in those steps at all in this life. You know what I'm saying? It's not why you're here. But that's what we have for your solar plexus chakra. Overall, the energy that we have on your solar plexus chakra is a very strong vibe from Obatala in this energy, which is fire. That's the Sag energy. That's fire. Got a lot of fire, in this space between the ninth house, Obatala actually being here. Aries gives off a bit of a fire energy. And then you have, the fourth house is water. So you got like a little water over there. Like, yeah, don't forget all this fire is going to your crib though. But overall, you got a nice fired up energy. And then, like I said, Ogun on Mars actually rules over your solar plexus, and that's sitting in the air energy of Gemini. Okay, or the Ibiji twins. Gemini is Ibiji. So let's pull a card for the solar plexus chakra. Can we pull a card for the solar plexus chakra? Let me pull a card for the solar plexus chakra. That's about to be like a song that I play. Can I pull a card for the solar plexus chakra? Go pull a card for that solar plexus chakra. I'm gonna pull a card for the solar plexus chakra. I'm glad you caught the line too, sis. I just be out here. I'm late as shit. I should have been did this hours ago. But see, look, if I would have did it hours ago, you wouldn't have called it maybe. Okay, so solar plexus chakra, where are we at? The Knight of Cups. Ooh, Cancer vibes. Don't forget, all this stuff is going in Cancer. All this stuff is going to your house. Don't think all this solar plexus chakra we're about to be outside. It's not going to make you like the next, it's not going to bring you, all the shallow stuff you're trying to be brought to. This is about your house. This is about your heart and your emotions and your seeds and your lineage and all that fun stuff, because we're dealing with Chiron, right? We're healing our feelings. And we're getting knowledge on the healing and the whys and what happened and all that stuff. Yeah? So don't forget all of this is going to the Cancer vibes. Basically repeat it. Don't forget it's going. Hey, love. So now we're going to move on to the heart chakra. The heart chakra is associated with Oshun or Oba. Oshun is the energy of Taurian energy, and Oba is the energy of Libra energy, which is the two zodiacs that's within the heart chakra. So that's fun. Venus rules over the heart chakra, of course, and Venus right now is at that mutable energy at 23 degrees, and Libra in the second house, ruled by Virgo gang. So I love that Oshun is inside of his home energy of Oba. That's fly. And then the second house is also associated with Oshun. That's the Oshun house, the Taurian house. And then it's over Virgo, which is Eshu, which is communication and expression. So learning to communicate your feelings, bringing this stuff through your throat chakra, expressing it, okay? Balance. Some of y'all are not experiencing balance in y'all spaces. Right now, your heart is focused on balance. Where are you feeding and being fed at? And that's where your energy is going to go. If you are not receiving what you're giving and you keep doing it, it's going to get to the point where the universe is literally going to grab you by your coattails and pull you out. And some of y'all are feeling that. Some of y'all are definitely feeling that. It's either you're screaming at yourself, or the person is screaming at you, or you're screaming at them. Every time you buy this person something, it breaks. Every time this person buys you something, it breaks or it gets lost. I'm hearing unappreciation. Every little thing you do is unappreciated. You guys, your energy is not being reciprocated there. And we're not just talking about, a partner. I hear business. Oshun also rules over your pentacles, your monies. So this is also happening in business. It's time to find balance. If you are showing up every day and doing this, that, and the third, and you're not getting what you're supposed to get back, it's time to create balance. For my entrepreneurs out there right now, I'm channeling myself in this moment. Your price tags ain't high enough. You giving away too much free shit. And that's why there's an imbalance there. And that's why you're tired. And that's why you get irritated when someone who really does need your services and the universe would like you to lower price yourself. At that moment, you can't do it because you've been providing lower price stuff this entire time. You know how lawyers have pro bono? Everything they do ain't pro bono, though. There's people that actually get the full price. Everybody can't be pro bono. Everybody can't be discount. Every day can't be clearance day. Value your energy. And that starts with self-love. If you don't have no self-love or self-value, you can't go into other spaces and expect them to provide that for you. That's not how it works. You have to have that already situated with, because that's going to go right at the root chakra of your heart chakra. Every chakra you have has a heart chakra of its own. So is there a balance scale at the root chakra of your heart chakra? If not, we got to put one there. Okay. But I hear, yeah, people are definitely ungrateful. I feel a lot of ungrateful energy. I hear a lot of y'all breathing. I heard that. I heard a breath. You felt that. And yeah, you can't control other people. Other people, it's not their responsibility to value you. It's your responsibility. And you can't be afraid of lose. You don't lose anything when you value yourself. In fact, you gain more. And I'm going to share a personal story. I rose my prices. My prices have risen. Some of y'all have been following me for the past few years. Y'all knew my beaded necklaces used to be $20. Why was they $20? My resin takes me days to make. And I layer my shit. And I measure my shit. And I calculate it because I know the science of organites. I don't just make resin pieces. I make actual organites that are transmuting energy. I'm very intentional with the stones I use, how many I use, where I place them at, the layers of the resin in between the stones and the metals and the flowers that I use. I'm very intentional. Why am I only charging $20 for what I just did? When I rose that same $20 necklace is now $100. Do people be giving me slack? Yeah. Do people walk past my table, pick it up, ask how much it is, stuff their teeth and walk away? Yes. Yes. But guess what? I don't have to sell 5 necklaces a day no more. Now I only need to sell 1. And if that ain't relief, I don't know what the fuck relief is. You gotta value yourself. And then I used to get angry. I used to get mad when people used to ask me for custom stuff because I didn't know how to price it. It takes more time because I have to find the specific stones you asked for. I have to, either wait for them to come in the mail or I have to walk in the store. And now that I'm not driving, it's way more of an inconvenience for me to have to get special stones for your ass, especially if you ain't show up with the stones that you want and you have this vision in your head. And I used to underprice myself for those custom items. And I used to I wouldn't have an attitude while I was making it because I know how strong my energy is. And when people wear my stuff, they can feel me. But yes, I used to be upset. Like, why did I just charge $30 for this shit? This shit has taken me 4 or 5 days. Right. We're so glad our stuff takes time. That feels good. Like, yo, I spent 5 days on this bitch. Look at this shit. This shit like, the more time you spend on it, the better you feel because the details are there. The love is there. When people put it on, they feel every single loop, tie, knot, wrap, everything when they put your stuff on. The more they look at it and watch it, and you gotta, like, I think about how I use my jewelry. I wear the same couple pieces every day, and then some days I switch it up. But like, I really take the time out to look at my pieces. I could tell when a wire is leaving and when something needs to be tightened. I really pay attention to my babies, and I would like to think that the people I make jewelry for do the same thing. So they're going to see all them details. They're going to see all that stuff. They need to pay for that shit. Because that has value. The same thing, I just hear this more so in business. A lot of you guys owning businesses and you're undervalue yourself because you're scared to value yourself in your communities. And I really want to get into astrocartography with you guys because some of you guys are not in your Venusian energy physically. Like the state that you're in, the actual state, country, state you're in, does not cater to your Venusian energy. The actual city that you're in is not catering to your Venusian energy. It's not catering to the pinnacles. So if you have to remove yourself from that space, then remove yourself. You can still come back and heal your people, but sometimes you got to leave and get them pinnacles so you can come back and heal your people, right? Like, I can't feed my kids unless I go to work. So sometimes I got to leave my kids and be like, bro, I'm about to go make some money. I'm going to get some food. And when I come back, we all finna eat. It's the same type of energy about your community. So keep that in mind. But that's what that Libra energy is over your heart chakra. And if you don't listen to it, I guarantee you're going to be put into some crazy fucking situations, especially because now we're entering that 29 degree of Libra energy where a lot of those last minute punches in y'all face and in y'all heart is about to fucking happen. This is the struggle part between the 29 degree and the 0 degree of Scorpio. All right. This is where shit gets tough. So those y'all that's over here like, yeah, I'm going to hold on to this and it's okay because I made reasons to stay. I made reasons to keep this job. I made reasons to do this. I made reasons to do this, this, and this. No, the universe is about to take that shit from you. And I'm about to tell you when, because the sun goes in Scorpio this week. It's not time for that. Let that shit go. It's not gonna work in your favor, baby. You about to be in my inbox like, sis, I don't know what happened. I'm not doing no magnet spells for y'all. I'm good. I do got some magnets in jewelry though. Now for the Oshun side of self, the feminine side, this is your Taurian side. This is the inside of you, all the mushy and gushy stuff going on in the inside, the stuff you keep inside. Anyway, this is associated with Nethet, which is the Kundalini, which is inside of you, right? Your sensual forces, the force that's inside of you. We're dealing with the seventh sphere on the tree of life. And this is when you're tapped into the celestial workers to design. It's time to start designing. Uranus brings on the energy of progressive change. Uranus is a big game changer in our space. Uranus is sitting in Oshun and has been sitting in Oshun since March 15th, 2019. And for those of you guys who have been tapped into my planetary forecast since 2019, what happened when Uranus entered Oshun? We went into quarantine. Our bills were put on hold. We were given stimulus checks. Our mindset about working at jobs fucking changed. Our mindset about money and cryptocurrency and the value of a dollar, it changed. Our mindset about what makes us feel good, all those accolades. I went to college. I'm going to college. I have this degree. It all changed. That's all that Venusian energy, them pinnacles. That energy of success and self-esteem. It all changed because you realize how asinine and how shallow a lot of this stuff is, because it's not a part of our matrix. This is not why we're here. This is someone else's solar plexus and root chakra and all their other chakras trying to overpower our chakra and also trying to overpower the chakras of the universe. We are at war here. This is a spiritual war. This is an energetic war we're at this point. And yeah, sometimes it's going to get a little physical. This is a part of the game. But moving from that space, what happened? My dog be tripping. But moving from that space, Uranus created a progressive change in that area of our life. Uranus will be in Oshun until April 26, 2026. 2026 is going to be a crazy year. It's going to be a crazy year. 2026, we have so many like planetary movements. It's going to be crazy. Uranus rules over our circulatory system and our third eye. And mind you, Uranus is also in the ninth house, which we spoke on. The ninth house being the house of not Obatala. Yeah, Obatala. That's the energy of Sagittarius or Jupiter. So see, look, it's already starting to be in my memory brain. So, expanding your mindset, expanding your knowledge will help you learn to accept this progressive change that's going on. Because I feel a lot of you guys are trying to hold on to the way things were. You're complaining about these food chains and these store changes closing and being inconvenient and not being stocked. Those are the inconveniences that come with the transformation. But the transformation is what we want. This is coming back to that Ogun in the Abiji twins in Gemini. Don't just dibble dabble. Learn to experience the journey. We're not just rushing to the finished product. Like a lot of you guys had a mindset like, yeah, we're going to get there. Money's going to be done and the government's going to be done. Okay, but did you think about all the steps between here and there? You did. It did. You didn't even know what it was going to look like. And that's okay. This is what it looks like. We're here now. Smell the flowers while we're going through it because we already know what the end game is going to look like. And that should be reassurance enough for us to enjoy the journey. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're at with Uranus. And Uranus also rules over the circulatory system and your third eye. So you want to tap into those physical parts of yourself. You're going to utilize Uranus to do that. The true node is also in Oshun. The true node is also in retrograde with Uranus. Both these energies in retrograde. Still in that house of Obatala of ninth house. In that Ogun energy of Aries. So bringing the new beginnings with that knowledge, with that philosophy that you're expanding yourself on, that wisdom or whatever. This is the path of the moon. This is your destiny. When you're tapped into the Kabbalah, when you learn about your true node, which is your Rahu and your Ketu. Rahu is your destiny and where you're going. Your Ketu is where you've been and your karmic energy, where you came from. You'll find your soul tribe with this energy. What is my Rahu? My Rahu is Aquarius. I don't know. I don't remember what my Ketu is. But the true node also rules over your legs, your breathing, your neck, your lungs, and it changes every 4 hours, which is why it's a good that's why it's important to know what time you were born, because of the true node, and if you want to find your soul tribe. And for those of you guys don't know, the true node is in Ogun in retrograde as far as our sidereal chart goes. So in our tropical chart, we're dealing with Oshun energy, your soul tribe moving towards, self-esteem, self-love, universal love, all those different things, healing the pinnacles. What are pinnacles to us, and how has that been influencing our self-esteem? What about these degrees of knowledge? How many degrees of knowledge do you need? I need the whole 360. You feel me? I need more than 360. I need a few spirals. You hear me? So I need a few 360s. All that different stuff. That's coming from the true node. Okay. And then as far as the sidereal chart or the Vedic chart, you're dealing with new beginnings in this space. Some of you guys have met your soul tribe. Some of you guys are coming in contact with your soul tribe, those familiar faces, those familiar energies, those familiar sounds and stuff like that. That's all your soul tribe popping in like, hey, we here, you in alignment. Y'all go ahead and create y'all, y'all can create y'all constellations together. Y'all can really journey through some things together. That's really the tribe to come together with to manifest different changes and, pursue your destiny with. Those are the souls to be with. So yeah, I will definitely tap into that energy. The 10th house is also sitting up in Oshun. 10th house is the Capricorn house, which is bringing on the energy of Babalu A of groundingness and discipline and rule and order and authority. So even, that energy of success and, and groundedness and order is coming into your Oshun, saying, okay, we got progressive change and you're going to get your destiny, and there's an order and a discipline that's going to come with that into your space, and you're going to learn to accept that. Okay. And that's fun. If you don't learn to accept it, you're going to see the other side of Babalu A, which is destruction and disease. Good luck with that. I don't want that sauce. Which we do see when you're not treating yourself right in your root chakra, like say I want to eat candy all day, what happens? Your stomach hurt, disease happens, Saturn hits that ass. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You want to stare at screens all day long? Okay, Saturn about to tap that ass. Your eyesight is fucked up. So that's that energy of Babalu. Libra energy, Oba. Oba was the wife of Shango. Okay, so Oba is more so associated with love as far as bonds go, how that love is with other people and in spaces, that one-on-one relationship energy, the Libra scales. Okay. And that brings on the energy of Het Ru when dealing with the spheres, the Netarus, if you will. We have the sun sitting in Oba right now in the second house, that house being ruled by Eshu, which is Virgo energy. Our ego, our masculine self, our outer self, which rules over the bones, the stomach, your right eye, your heart, your skin, your head, and your joints. Your ego is sitting in a balance. Y'all really need balance. It's screaming in your face. Y'all are not feeling good. When y'all engage in an interaction and it was not balanced, y'all are eating yourselves up. That's that second house energy being ruled by his shoe. That's overthinking and spiraling you in. And now you're in your emotions because all this is sitting in your heart chakra. Now you're feeling bad about yourself. You're mad and it's spilling into other people, places, and things. Like, damn, if I would have charged an extra $50, I would have had $50 now. Like, it's like a nice little spiral, It's a nice little spiral and it's sitting in your ego. Your ego is going to get hurt if you don't create no balance. Nobody likes the ego hurt. Mercury, Eshu, the energy of communication and decision making and the patterns you create and stuff like that. That is also sitting in Oba. So you're communicating your need for reciprocation right now. You're communicating your need for balance. You're communicating your need for order. And just know, as you communicate those things, the person you're communicating with might not be the motherfucker that hear you. It might not be. I can sit in front of somebody I care about and be like, bro, I don't like this. I'm doing more than I'm getting. I'm not feeling it. I'm not a fan. And they could be like, sunshine, I don't give a fuck. And I could be like, you know what? You're not the one to give a fuck. But the fact that I even utilize my throat chakra to say that shit out loud, not only did you hear it, I heard what I said too. So now, since you don't want to do nothing about it, sunshine finna do something about it. and you just, control all your stars, your whole universe, and get that shit popping. You know what I mean? Or the universe heard you too. So now the universe about to start putting things into space. Like, yo, I heard what Sunshine said. She said she wants stuff in return. Fine. I'm about to put this other person in her path that's about to reciprocate everything she was giving all these other motherfuckers. And they're going to be okay with reciprocating it. You don't have to feel bad if you get that energy back from a form you didn't get energy to, because you already gave that energy out. You deserve it back. Period. So, you have that realm going on in your Mercurian vibes. Express that shit. Express the need in your bonds, okay? Express the need for balance and fairness. And for those of you guys who don't know, Mercury or issue rules over your chest, your nervous system, your skin, your navel, your nose, your nerves, your lungs, your tongue, your arms, your face, and your hair. It takes about 15 to 60 days for Mercury to exit a zodiac sign, because sometimes, Mercury goes in retrograde, which it does about 3 to 4 times a year. And also, if you're dealing with the sidereal chart, Eshu is currently in Eshu. It's currently in Virgo energy at 14 degrees, so it's in fixated Virgo energy in the second house, which we know is the Oshun house, the house of pentacles and self-esteem. And that house is ruled by Eshu. Paying attention to the details of those things. Self-love, 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 self-love. Communicate that self-love. Communicate your need in these bonds with the Libra scale. If you're not getting stuff back in return, it's time to do it, because this shit is on the forefront right now. We'll actually have a day, and I'll get into that in a minute, where we'll have a lot of air energy going on with the sun, moon, Mercury, and Venus all sitting in Libra energy. And then we got Gemini, Mars, a lot of air energy going on. That'll be a perfect time right before the sun enters Scorpio and Venus enters Scorpio to break all that shit up, for you to really set like some air intentions. Because what does air do? Air gives breath. Air gives life. You can go outside and breathe your intentions into life. If you imagine that your breath is the seed, your breath is the fire, your breath is what's going to make shit happen. Okay? Venus is, Oshun is also in Oba, in the second house, being ruled by Eshu. This rules over your face, the light in your eyes, your genitals, your urine, semen, your throat, your body shape, and also how your vision is. Venus usually spends 30 days in each zodiac sign. This energy is your pentacles. It's your love of self, your love of others, your self-esteem, what makes you feel good, what it looks like. And right now, it's sitting in what? The energy of Oba. Your whole, how you feel about yourself, your ego, how you communicate, all of that is sitting in the energy of truth, of justice, of fairness. The 5 points of the Moorish, of Allah, like, was it true freedom and justice? True freedom and justice. Is that what it is? Yeah, like all of that. That is all the energy of Mayat. Those are the Libra scale. That's Oba. That's all that energy right there. Your whole self is sitting in that. I really, really, really advise you, even if you don't want to be a privatized citizen, even if you love being public, I want y'all to learn about that shit, because that's where a lot of this Libra energy is coming from. Balancing the scales of being public and private. You could play around with both if you wanted to. I'm not going to teach y'all to do that, because like I said in that realm, I'm a student. But like, we all fingerprints. You do what works for you, baby. But like, I really see like that need of reciprocation. For some of y'all going to have to exit your comfort zone to get y'all reciprocation in certain areas. Yeah. The third house. The third house is our Gemini house, the Ibiji twins. That's communication, the community, traveling within your immediate community area. So not only are you experiencing on the inside of yourself with Oshun, the Taurus energy, you're experiencing that 10th house of success. You're going to be at the pinnacle of your success if you grasp that Uranus progressive energy and really tap into your true node, your destiny, and your karmic energy on the inside. You're going to be successful in that realm. That the 10th house isn't over there. And then on the outside of self, you got your ego, you got your communicative and your expression self, and you got your emotions and your self-esteem all sitting in your outer heart chakra, the pinnacles and stuff, and it's around your community. All this is going to be directed towards your community. It's spaces, people, places, and things in your community that need that shift. That communication has to happen. And it's fucking up your ego, because when you go outside of your door into your community, you ain't feeling that Oba. You're not feeling that her room. You're not feeling that Mayat in your community. And it's cool that we have a virtual community. It's cool that y'all can go on Facebook. I can go on Facebook right here and do this with y'all. But I don't think it's cool that I can't do the same thing I'm doing y'all out there with my neighbors. I don't think that's cool. That's not acceptable to me. But one thing I learned in my astrocartography chart, I'm in my Pluto area right now, which is so valid because all I feel is extreme events of transformation. But I gotta go somewhere else. I gotta, change my space, change my place. And also you learn about, the town that you live in has a natal chart too. That was founded on a certain date. Have you ever learned the natal chart of the town that you live in? Have you did a synastry chart of where you're at and your own natal chart and figured out, oh, this is why this is set up. This is why I feel. Those are things. Do you work for a certain company? Your company has a natal chart that you work for. Your business has a natal chart. Are you tapped into the natal chart of your business? Is your natal chart and your business chart in the chart of your city? What does the synastry charts of those look like? Are they in alignment with one another? What's the patterns going on there? Shit like that. All that matters. And it's fun. You can really study yourself forever because that's why we're here. We're here to study ourselves. All this extra shit, we're not here for this. Not here for this. But I do want to be here to pull a card for your heart chakra. So can we pull a card for the heart chakra? This is where we play the music. Play that card for the heart chakra. I'll play that card for the heart chakra. What I got? A reverse, the Hierophant. We got y'all kissing feet. The Il Papa. The Hierophant. And we're in reverse. So y'all not really like sitting on y'all throne and y'all heart chakras in this space yet. And I would like for us to get there. And I sincerely advise you guys doing what I said. Find out the natal chart of the area that you're in. Put into consideration that your business or the company you work for has a natal chart, or the person that you have this bond with, it has a natal chart, and tap into your own natal chart and put them together and let them tell the story. Let them tell a story to you. Read them. If y'all need help reading, reach out. I do consultations. We could do a 22-minute consultation. You tell me what you need. That's free. We could do an 88-minute consultation. That's $33. That's basically free, nigga. That's less than a bag of weed. For less than a bag of weed, you can get 88 minutes with me. And we can start going over it. And if you need therapy sessions, I have therapy sessions too. I could do that with y'all. I'm in the process of working on a subscription service with y'all, so y'all can start getting more one-on-ones with me, so we can really like go through your stuff. I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna keep doing this Scorpio energy over the planetary forecast for now. Oh shit! It's 9 o'clock. I thought this was at 10. Jesus Christ! Hold on a second. Peace.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I have my screen blocked because I am not ready.
Okay. I wasn't entirely ready yet either. I'm in the middle of my planetary forecast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I wanted to go over the questions so you're not caught off guard.
Okay.
So we're obviously going live on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do a phone call because some people do phone calls if they don't want to be seen. You see my show, but it's audio if you don't want to be seen. Otherwise, we can do an Instagram if you want to be seen.
It doesn't matter to me either way. I could be seen.
Okay, that's fine. We'll
Okay.
stick with it this way. So basically, 15 minutes after 10.
Okay.
I'll pull you up on Instagram. So be out there in the live, and then I'll pull you up around 10:15. First thing I always ask people is, where are you calling from? So you can tell me a little bit about where you're from. So I'll tell you where I'm from, and we go back and forth, break the ice a little bit. Then we'll get into everything that you do.
Okay. That sounds cool.
Talk to us about your entrepreneurship and things that you do. Is there anything that you want to discuss on it?
Nothing specific. I do a lot of stuff.
Okay, so I'll ask you, you just fill me in on everything, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Now, towards the end of the show, I do something which is called burning questions.
Okay.
And the burning question that I have tonight is basically will be a random question that'll have nothing to do with what we're talking about. The question that I got tonight is, how often do you dream about what you can have, and what actions have you put in place to make that your reality?
That's a good question. Okay.
And after we go back and forth with that, it'll be about 10:45, so you'll be on for about 30 minutes. And then it'll be a wrap.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so I will see you soon.
All right, love.
Okay. Take care. Thank you.
All right, peace.
Bye.
My bad, y'all. I have an interview at 10. I forgot. See, I do so much. But yeah, we got the reverse, so we're not here yet. And I love that this is on the 5. For the guys that don't know, 5 is associated with Leo energy, which is your heart, which is the energy of that balance and fairness, like I spoke about not too long ago. So that's the whole vibe right there. We are imbalanced in this area, and that's okay, because we gonna get balanced, y'all. Let that shit go. Let it go. And I'm in the process of still, because when I gave somebody, it was a good question, right? Because even in this realm of things, I'm still learning how to price myself. As far as my performances go, my presence at events and stuff goes and stuff like that. I don't have a manager that'd be like, sis, this is how much money you gonna get, and I'm gonna negotiate it for you because you don't know how to negotiate. Like, I don't have that access yet, but I'm gonna get that, John. I dream about having someone that does that for me because I'm not good at it. But that's a vibe that'll come eventually. But yeah. Work on that balance. So now we're going to move on to your throat chakra. Let me get back in my groove. Your throat chakra is associated with the Abeji twins, or Eshu of Virgo. Mercurian energy. Y'all know I'm a straight up Mercurian. I'm a Virgo stellium, and then I got my Mars in Gemini, and my Mars is in the Abejis. Excuse me. It's sitting right now. Eshu is sitting in Oba, which is Libra energy, in the 2nd house, which is the house of shoot. Thank you. Y'all smart as shit. And that energy is being ruled by Eshu. The throat chakra is all over your expression and your communication and things like that. So this is tying in your heart chakra with your throat chakra. We are communicating balance. We are communicating truth. We are communicating balance, order, and justice. We are communicating Mayat right now. All right, it's coming through. We ain't talking about expressing shit else. Is balance, period. What's up? And then it's cool because like we're in an election year this year. And so you have a lot of people campaigning with how they intend on bringing forth the balance and the truth and the fairness and the justice. And then you got my main man, the motherfucking Abeji twin gang, Kanye. Y'all know I love Kanye West. Don't even, y'all can judge me now. But 10 years from now, come talk to me, because that man is in the future. You heard me? He always been in the future. Like that time where he came at Taylor Swift and took the mic, and everybody was like, oh, why he make her cry? And then 2 years later, Jada Pinkett and Snoop Dogg and all them do the Oscars So White. Come on now, boo. We did that 2 years ago, bro. Catch up. It's like, nah, I'm just playing. But not really, because my man always be in the future. Don't do that. Anyway, so, all that to say, like, we even have him speaking on balanced truth and stuff, being, an Aboriginal father for some reason in an Armenian household, trying to co-parent. And like, he's speaking his Mayat. There's no balance here. I'm not giving and receiving adequately. And it's ironic that he's saying that to an actual Libra. I was talking to my sister about that earlier. I was like, I really feel like different zodiacs from different cultures are different, because I know some Virgos from a different culture and they just make my skin crawl. Not interested at all. And that's something we can get into later, because we are separate yet equal, and that's how my left, eighth sphere on the tree of life when dealing with Eshu, which is labeling and separatism. So that's another thing. But yeah, coming back to our throat chakra, we have a lot of individuals, and if y'all can think of somebody off the top of your head that's speaking on truth and law and Maya and stuff like that, feel free to chime in. But this energy is being ruled over, whether it's the Ebeji twins or Eshu, it's still being ruled over by Sebek and the Netarus, which is opposing forces, the left brain, celestial text. We're dealing with the A sphere in the tree of life, which is about labeling what I just said. Gemini, the Veggie twins, that's your internal self, that's your feminine self, that's your attachments, your the expression, the communication, so the attachments in the community and things like that. That's I don't know who that is that's banging. That's the energy of Ogun sitting in Abeji, because Mars is in Gemini in the 10th house, the 10th house being ruled by Oshun. Okay, so we have our motivational energy, what gets us going, what also pisses us off, because when people start telling you to be quiet or try to muffle your throat chakra, it's going to feel different than what it used to feel. Once upon a time, you would really be quiet and do what they asked you to do, but now this time around, I don't feel that anywhere. I don't feel people being hushed anymore. I don't care if you're talking to a grandparent, I don't hear people being hushed anymore. We're not doing that. It's motivating you to keep communicating. It's motivating you to keep expressing. We just want to make sure that your root chakra is balanced inside of your throat chakra, so that you have discernment with your word choice. As we can see, the media and word of mouth have a tendency of spiraling people's words, to invoke certain emotions out of other people, whether you want a pity party or a tiki torch gang or something, like it's different things going on. So you want to be mindful of your word choices and stuff, because there is equal opposite energy in that realm. Mars rules over the blood, marrow, your anus, energy, neck, female organs, your veins, genitals. It takes about 45 days per zodiac sign for Mars. And as far as the sidereal chart goes, we're dealing with that 29 degrees. So now we're in that that hard part, that little difficult. I forget the word for it. I wish Kyron was in here, because he would be able to tell me, because he used that word on me one time. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But we're at the 29 degree of Oshun, which is Taurus, in the 10th house, which is Babalu A energy, Capricorn energy. Being and that energy is ruled by who? Oshun. Thank you, all y'all been listening. But yeah, so Mars is in this vibe right now. It's in Gemini on the tropical, it's in Taurian energy on the sidereal. And so, you feel in your mindset, the community, you really want to express this to the community. I got some things I want to say to y'all. I want to expand y'all. I want to help y'all reach our highest pinnacle and this, that, and the third. And then, in your gut, in your heart, or whatever, in your behavior, you are moving towards feeling good with this expression. This expression is assisting you in your self-esteem, your love for self, your love for others, but also assisting you in your pinnacles, because we're dealing with that 10th house and Taurian energy, which is, materializing things in the pinnacles. Now, as far as the house in this energy, the 11th house, which is our Shango house, the Aquarius house, that root chakra energy, is sitting in that throat chakra energy. So if you're not paying attention to the root chakra of your throat chakra, don't even worry about it, because there's root chakra in here, energy in here anyway. You got that 11th house energy, bringing on that energy of rebellion, revolutionary ideas, mindsets, communication. You're about to communicate and express some revolutionary shit. All those downloads you've been getting, that you've been telling yourself, oh, that's unrealistic, I can't do that. You need to express and communicate those things, because while you may think you're unable to do that, you need to express that shit, because someone out there needs to hear you, because they're going to do it. I say, when I got into my astrocartography, I realized that once upon a time, about a year or so ago, I used to talk about wanting to go to the North Pole a lot. I wanted to go all the way up to the top of the earth, because I know for a fact they're lying about the maps. And what's up there is not what they're telling us is up there. And I want to see it. So, looked on my astrocartography. Guess where a lot of my lines are at? In fucking Greenland, at the top. It just was so satisfying to see the lines in alignment with my journey in my life, from driving across country and the different experiences I felt driving across country, to having land in Arizona, to having intentions on moving to Oregon, to having certain friends in certain places across the globe. all of that stuff is definitely in alignment with the cosmos. It's so dope as shit. So now we're going to move on to our masculine throat chakra. Masculine form of communication is dealing with a Shu, which is Virgo energy. And what's inside of a Shu, Virgo energy, is Ceres. Ceres is another asteroid or dwarf planet. It's associated with Iris. If you're more so, into Iris, we're going to start utilizing the term Iris instead of Ceres moving forward too. That's another transformation in this planetary forecast. But Ceres is in Eshu in the first house, that house being ruled by Leo, which is Odu Mila. And it brings on the energy of nurturing or being a nurturer, or the mom and daughter relationship and custody energy of in terms of mother and daughter. And then also agriculture, because agriculture is a form of nurturing and nourishment. Okay. So right now, what is sitting in that communication realm, in that realm of bringing things into existence and manifesting. Remember when we did the harvest moon thing? Well, now we're in the space where we're communicating those seeds that we planted. We're talking them up. If you are a farmer, you're probably sitting on your land talking to your harvest, like, hey, yo, y'all gonna grow. You're playing some music. I love to play Bob Marley and Sons of Kemet for my plants. They enjoy it too. We have a great time together. Just really tapping into what you do for people. Like now we're entering the fall and winter months of holidays. A lot of these months are associated with eating. The matriarch of the family cooks a big dinner and nourishes her entire, her lineage. My Nana doesn't cook no more. So like, me and my family, we got to pick it up and we got to be the cooks now. We got to be the matriarchs. And I think that's dope. I think that's a dope, transference of energy, and it's necessary. We got to take care of the souls that took care of us, regardless of whatever, energy you feel because of generational curses or whatever, stuff like that. We're still here to heal those lineages so that when those souls return, they're returning with new karmic debts and new karmic experiences and new alignments and stuff, and not the same shit because we decided, instead of, healing this and healing the lineage, I'm just going to run away and disappear. And that's not healing. That's running. It's going to make you come back in the same shit too, because you didn't heal it. You didn't heal it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's that. And the second house is also in the energy of Eshu, and that's the house of materialism and materialistic wealth and possessions and bringing things into fruition on that realm. So, the things that you're communicating, you're bringing into the realm. We're bringing into the world. They're materializing. That throat chakra is bringing the shit into the material world. And overall, that's the energy of your throat chakra. We're speaking on balance and the truth of Mayat with Mercury inside of that Oba energy, and we're materializing. So now we're going to pull a card for our throat chakra. Pull a card for my throat chakra. Oh, he won't let me put it. My card got stuck for a minute. It got sticky. Throat chakra. We have a reverse 2 of swords. Ooh. Some of y'all hit me with some resistance when I said y'all need to heal y'all lineage. Who said it? Who said I ain't talking to that bitch? Who said it? You're going to talk to her because the universe going to keep you putting you in positions where you have to. you either going to deal with it in this life, or you're going to come back and you're going to deal with it again. But either way, you got to fucking deal with it. This is like some type of betrayal. It's an imbalance here. And we're going to learn how to communicate through this. Because you need to be upright. Because as long as you like this, you're going to keep treating other relationships like this. Because they're all going to smell like this. Because that scent is still in your nose. You got to go smell some other shit first. But you got to heal this smell first. Because this is a big one. And that way you can start treating the rest of your relationship like this. You got that balance. You got that fairness. They're putting their hands together. And their hands are equally together. That Libra vibe on that Mercurian energy. But we're going to try to manifest this. We're going to try to heal these swords here. Because there's some betrayals here. And that's what we're here to do. Because you think this is the first time this person betrayed you? Just because it happened in this life? You think it only happened in this life? I have a feeling that it happened before. And you thought running was the solution. And look, here we are again. No, we're not. No, we're not. Don't do that. Stop. All right, so now we're going to get into the third eye and the crown. Oh, now we're going to get into the third eye and the crown chakra. This associated with the sun, which is Orunmila, the Leo energy, which is sitting in that energy of Oba, which is Libra vibes, in the second house, ruled by a Shu, Virgo. And then you have the moon, which is Yemoja, which is sitting in that Cancer energy of Yemoja, in the 11th house of Shango, Aquarius energy. That 11th house is being ruled by the Veggie twins, the Gemini twins, okay? The third eye and the crown are one and the same because they're both ruled by the sun and the moon. They both bring on that intuitive energy. They tapping you into spirit, but they're also a medium between this body and this octave of chakras and the next octave when you start talking about the chakras that are associated with your spiritual self, your outer self. Okay, we start talking to the chakras of your aura and the planetary placements of your aura. All right. So this is the medium ground, which is why third eye and the crown chakra are kind of like blended together with the sun and moon. Okay, we're dealing with our inner outer selves and our intuitions. Okay, so your feminine side, which is your Moja, Cancer energy, this is the energy of all set. It brings awareness, the depth of being, learning, healing, nourishing. Also, that mediumistic trance that you go into is an attunement with Emoja. And then we're dealing with the nice sphere on the tree of life. And this is the sphere of worldly events, bringing things into the physical self because we done put all the other spheres together. So when we start to get into the 9th and 10th sphere and things, we're starting to bring things really through manifestation into this realm. Okay. The moon, Yemoja, we started off this week with the moon actually in Yemoja. So the moon was in Cancer in the 11th house, being ruled by Aquarius energy. So, going inward, domestication. I love the fact that I'm sitting here with y'all right now doing this planetary forecast because I'm creating nourishment for you guys in a knowledge form. I'm planting seeds in this realm with people who have been coming in and out of here throughout this session, and the people that'll be coming in and out of the interview that I have in about a half hour or so. So like that's a whole vibe. Like, definitely being tapped into my intuition and my spirit. When I do these planetary forecasts, they're very draining because one, sometimes I do my tarot cards, but then also because like whenever I do any type of energy, anything, I'm channeling that energy. Like I'm there. I feel it. I'm in there. I'm here. And I'm trying to explain it to you what it feels like being here. Like that's the kind of vibe that's going on. So like, it's a whole like intuitive space that I go into, which sometimes is why I be so late sometimes. Cause it's like, I really got to prep myself. Like I had to take it. I take shower. I clean my space first. Like I have to it's like I'm doing a reading cause I am. I'm reading right now. I can't even read a book in filth and stuff. So like same shit for me. But yeah, being in a space, probably you guys felt like going in the house out of nowhere. It started raining hard as shit. And I just felt like so soothing and cleansing. In fact, the rain started around the time that the moon rose. So I found that to be beautiful. I found that as a beautiful, because it rained hard too. It was literally like one cloud. The time that came around for the moon to rise, it was like, and I thought that was really dope. That was a dope alignment. So like energy like that. We have our Lilith in Yemoja. Lilith is the furthest point of the moon's orbit around the earth. Okay. This is astrologically speaking, this is where your primal energy is. This is where you assert your deep desires and your energy. Usually this is the energy that you suppress in yourself. And so when you see it running rampant and somebody else is like, don't do that, chill. Like people don't like that. No, you don't like that in you. And the moment you learn how to hug it in you, you'll learn how to hug it in me. Like personally, my Lilith is in Sagittarius energy. So like that Sagittarian energy kind of like bothers me a little bit sometimes. It's like very me, I. But if I keep it 100, like sometimes I do want to be like that. Like, what about me? I want to go. I'm out. Like, let's go. Lilith spends about 9 months in each sign and about 9 years in each cycle. So that energy sitting in your moja right now is like really being in tune with your intuition, tapping into your spirit. Definitely learn about where your Lilith is while we're sitting in this Cancer moon, since Lilith is also in Cancer, and have that conversation with yourself. Make it a diary entry. Let's do a diary entry on Lilith today, since we're in this Cancer energy anyway. Talk about it. Like, why does this trigger me? And how do I react when I'm triggered? Is this something that I actually really want to do? Like, how do I think it'll feel if I did it? Do you feel yourself getting excited and happy and now you find yourself actually plotting to do the shit? Like, speaking it into existence, but be mindful, because we already just talked about what Mercury is doing, and how Mercury is, the second house is literally in Mercury bringing that stuff into fruition. So be careful with that. But at the same token, have fun. Tap into your intuition and really, have an honest conversation with yourself. It's important. Then you have Pallas. Pallas is another asteroid. It's art. It rules over art, wisdom, genius, qualities that you may overlook in yourself, and also how you defend yourself, and justice, how you obtain justice, what is justice to you, what it looks like. If you don't feel like you're in a situation where you're receiving justice, or you're watching someone not receive justice, how do you react? Shit like that. And that's sitting in your moja in the 11th house, being ruled by Aquarius energy, just really bringing you back into the subconscious and the spirit, and really tapping into your inner self and your wisdom, and what really taking the time out to meditate. I think with this Cancer energy going on right now, and the fact that the moon is activating the Lilith in the palace right now, I think this will be a good time to have those conversations with self. What are some qualities in yourself that you overlook? Is that in alignment with the Lilith that you've been suppressing? Maybe if you stop overlooking those qualities in yourself, you will stop being triggered by the Lilith. Have that conversation with yourself. Think about that. The 12th house is also in your moja. This is the energy of Olukun, which is Pisces energy, tapping the spirit. Spirit is all over this energy. Between Pisces energy and Cancer energy, it's like those two energies are heavily intuitive, heavily spiritual. It's a beautiful time to go outside and be barefoot, especially now because it just rained. I go outside, put my feet in the mud real quick. I'm gonna get some shit. And we're gonna get into the meteor showers and stuff. I usually go through the second half of this planetary forecast a lot faster than this part. This is the slow part. And I've been trying to figure out how to speed this part up, but it's not meant to be sped up. No matter how much I abbreviate, how much, whatever, like this is what it's supposed to be. And I do have intentions on adding more visuals for my visual learners and people that have to see diagrams and stuff, because I think it will be cool too. But this is the longest part of the planetary forecast. The second part, where I actually get into what's happening during the week, I go through in like 15 minutes, and then whatever. But yeah, coming back to the 12th house, really tapping into spirit, subconscious. What are your humanitarian pursuits? What are you doing for spirit? What are you doing spiritually? Where's your spiritual growth at? Have these conversations with yourself under this Cancer moon, Ashe. Leo energy is on the outside, on the masculine self of your third eye and your crown chakra. That, yeah, baby, the sun and the moon rise and fall on my edge. You heard me? You are the main character of your show. You are front and center on your stage. You have to start treating yourself like it. Stop putting other people, places, and things front and center. If Leo in your third eye and your crown chakra don't teach you nothing else, let it teach you that. And that is not, it's selfish. Now stop thinking selfish is a bad word. Be selfish and be self-centered. Did you know that your third eye also has a root chakra? Yeah, that's the place where you put the discernment. During these times, I'm still gonna be a little self-centered, but like I still gotta be a little considerate. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to do that. As far as Leo goes, Leo is associated with the energy of Heru, which is bringing on energy of will and courage, discipline. We're dealing with the lower and the upper, because remember I told you that the heart, the Leo, the 5th house is in the middle. Okay. We're dealing with the 6th sphere and the tree of life, which is dealing with maintained through coordination and balance. Now we're finding coordination and balance in things. Okay. And the 1st house is in Leo right now. The 1st house is in Orumila, and the 1st house is what? Ogun! Yes! You get a card. Yes, Aries, Ogun, the first house, the house of new beginnings, is sitting in the space where you need to learn and follow the fact that the sun and the moon rise on that ass, bro. You are the sun and the moon. You are the main character. You're dope as shit. You are front and center. Everybody is watching you and your play. The audience is watching you. Now, what are you doing in the front and center? Okay? You always have an audience. Even when you don't see them in the physical, you have an audience. Always, 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 always choose violence. It's like, no. Just, be yourself and really tapping into this Leo energy, tapping into this, your third eye, your crown energy is going to bring that first house energy of new beginnings, rebirth, bringing things, starting over, right? Coming. And I love that because by the end of this week, we'll be in a new moon. So we'll really be starting over. So like, it's just like a really nice vibe. And I say go with it. Now, as far as our retrogrades go, here are the mentionables that we still have in retrograde. These are the energies that are still slowed down for us to catch up. Ashe. We have Lilith, Uranus, the true node, Saturn, the ascendant, Jupiter, Neptune, Juno, Chiron, and Aries. That's 10 planets that are still in retrograde at this very moment. Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk to y'all a little. I didn't want to talk to y'all too much because I don't like to jump ahead too far, but yeah, eventually I might just touch on that just so y'all know what to tune into next week. But in the meantime, let's just pull a card for our third eye and our crown chakra. Let me pull a card for these chakras. I want to pull a card for my chakras. All right. We have the Empress. You are front and center of your play. You hear me? You are front and center. You're literally the main character. You're the only character if that's how you want it, bro. You got to play that shit. Just do it. Hear my voice in your head. As soon as you start acting like you a side bitch to yourself, just hear myself. Look at this face. Put this in your head. Stop it. Okay? Program that in yourself. Every time you start acting like your own little side piece, just stop it. This is you. Cut it out. The sun and moon rise on that ass. You hear me? You better move like you know. Stop acting like that. The only people that's going to be triggered by that are people that don't allow the sun and moon to rise and fall on their ass. That's their Lilith they got to deal with. But guess what? Under this Cancer moon, we dealt with ours. So we good over here. You hear me? Raise them prices. Set them boundaries. Communicate what you're trying to harvest. And remember, the sun and moon rise and fall on that ass. Because it does. It does. All right. So now we're going to get into what is actually going on this week. We started October 17th, which is today. We are in the Wan and Gibbous moon at 56%. Just to remind you. Excuse me. Where my paper stuff? Oh. My bad. Hold on, give me 1 second. My notes is everywhere. But yeah, we're in the Wan and Gibbous moon, which is like the moon after the full moon. It's time to start cleaning up stuff and decluttering and all that fun stuff. And that's what the Wan and Gibbous moon does for us. It's declutter time. We started off the week at 56% today. The moon will rise at 11:50 p.m. and we'll be setting at 2:43 p.m. in that Cancer zodiac energy. The sun rose today at 6:12 a.m. and set at 5:16 p.m. The moon and Castor we're in minimal angle at 4:39 a.m. with the moon 5.4 degrees south. Okay, conjunction occurred at 6:45 a.m. with the moon 5.5 degrees south. I didn't have a visible time for y'all for that this morning, but for those of you guys who don't know, even though the moon is in Cancer zodiac, it's still in the Gemini constellation. Castor is the mortal twin of the Gemini constellation, and it brings on the energy of togetherness, of bonding, and like, what do you call it? Loyalty, honor, Castor gives off the energy of Mercury. It's bringing on the energy of honor and intellect, and then still like that Gemini vibe. Okay, so the moon is the furthest distance from the Earth at 5:01 a.m. The moon was far as shit. The International Space Station. We got about 7 people living in space right now. If you were in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area, we would have been able to wave hello to them around 5:13 a.m. to 5:20 a.m. The moon in Pollux was in conjunction at 12:42 p.m. with the moon at 2.4 degrees south. Minimal angle occurred at 11:08 a.m. with the moon 2.3 degrees south-southwest. And we were able to observe that at 5:38 a.m. with a 3.2 degree west-southwest separation. Pollux is the immortal twin of the Gemini, the Ibiji twin constellation. Pollux was the one who said, once his brother died, he said, hey, can you put me and my brother in the constellations? So that brings on the energy of loyalty and togetherness and things like that. And then it's like a double story, because it depends on who you ask. Some people will say that the BG twins were trouble and they caused havoc everywhere they went, but then some people will say the BG twins were brave and they would challenge anybody. So it really depends on what coin you decide to look at, but it's the same story. And that's why Gemini energy has the 2 faces between the twins and the the 2-faced story. Okay. But Pollux at 11:08 a.m. the moon was 2.3 degrees south-southwest. Oh yeah, you were able to observe that 5:38. I think I read that part. Venus and Spica were in conjunction at 9:54 a.m. with Venus 3.5 degrees north. So even though Venus was in the Libra zodiac, it's still in the Virgo constellation. And Spica is the brightest star in the Virgo constellation. It's actually the 15th brightest star in our solar system area. Is located on the ear grain of wheat that the Virgo version is holding. It gives off the energy of Venus and Mars. So you're getting that Oshun energy, that Venusian energy of romance, of love, self-love, love of others, pentacles. Then you're also getting that Ogun energy of new beginnings, also that warrior-like energy and stuff like that. So with the moon, with Venus, with Oshun being in alignment with this Spica star that has the energy of Oshun and Ogun in it, you probably guys felt like sexy as hell, didn't y'all? Y'all felt sexy today? I feel sexy every day, but I feel like y'all really felt it today. It's all right. Some of y'all had some morning stuff. I'm here for it. You ain't gotta tell me, but I be knowing. Anyway. It's like, no, I'll just play with y'all, not really. But anyway, that's a heavy Venusian energy. So definitely not even just like romance and love and stuff like that, but also, some of y'all felt good today. The weather was popping, like throw on your outfit with that fly ass cardigan. We out here. And then also like, manifesting your pentacles. The last quarter moon also rose today at 12:16 p.m. The moon was best visible before sunrise. As far as the last quarter moon goes, that is the moon of transition. At this point, like I said, with the Cancer energy, but this is definitely a good day to journal. Ask yourself, what are your future goals? List your goals out, manifest, communicate that stuff, all that into fruition, into materialization, and talk about your lessons and your experiences that brought you to this list of goals and stuff like that, and and really have that honest conversation with yourself. What's going to get you where you need to go. Mercury and Parima had a minimal angle at 10:12 p.m. Mercury was 0.8 degrees south-southwest. For those of you guys who do not know, Parima is also in the Virgo constellation. So even though we're over, Mercury is in the Libra zodiac, is still in the Virgo constellation. And the Parima energy gives off the energy of, I want to say, is Mercury and Venus. So we are getting that Eshu, the Beji twin energy, and also Oshun and Oba. So you're still getting the materialization and the communication and expression and utilizing your throat chakra to bring things into fruition. Venusian energy is materialization. Oshun, the energy of love. Oba, the energy of balance and fairness and stuff like that. So really bringing that energy. So, it's a nice divine alignment that we had that thorough discussion about balance in our Oba energy and our Oshun energy and in that chakra or whatever. That's in alignment with what's going on right now at this moment. Like, it's 9:42. In 30 minutes, Mercury and Parima will be in minimal angle. That means we're already feeling the shadow of that. You understand me? So speak that shit within these next 30 minutes. Speak that shit, bro. But that's what I had for today. Now, tomorrow, October 18th, we're in the waning crescent moon. For those of you guys who do not know, the waning crescent moon is the moon of cleansing. We're still cleaning our space, decluttering our mind, body, souls, and spirit, getting rid of things that do not serve us. That is perfect to do as we're sitting in this last bit of energy, this last mutable energy of Libra vibes before we get into that transformational Scorpio vibe. Declutter before we enter the next zodiac energy, because that zodiac energy don't give a fuck about balance and fairness. That zodiac energy is about transformation. So whatever shit that you was holding on to around this time when it was time to make balance and stuff, that shit is going to get ripped out of your arms in transformation energy. For those of you guys who don't know, Scorpio energy is a very powerful energy. It's literally in the solar plexus of the universe. Like, it's a power energy. It's a throne. So, be intentional. But yes, it's cleansing time. Clean your space. Clean your space. The waning crescent moon will be at 45%. There's no set time for rising, but it will set at 3:20 p.m. We are in the Cancer zodiac. The sun will rise at 7:13 a.m. and set at 6:15 p.m. Mercury will be in conjunction with Parima. So we still have Mercury sitting in that Virgo constellation. Why do y'all keep calling me? No. So we still have Mercury sitting in that Virgo constellation. And that's going to be at 4:24 a.m. where Mercury will be 0.9 degrees south. The moon and Persepi will be in conjunction at 3:12 p.m. The moon will be 3.3 degrees north. For those of you guys who don't know, Persepi is located in the Cancer constellation. It's located actually at the head of the crab. And the energy that Persepi gives off is Mars, Ogun, and the moon. So a lot of intuitive energy and stuff like that, but also very hasty, warrior-like energy, but still bringing in new beginnings. But that is a very hasty, intuitive energy. Thus, still camel walking with what I'm saying. Please create that balance and fairness while it's still in your power, because if you leave it up to the cosmos, they're going to beat you. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to the principal's office, okay? Do you hear where I'm going with this? Venus and Spica will be minimal angle at 12:52 p.m. Venus will be 3.2 degrees north-northeast. Spica is in the Virgo constellation, like we spoke on. So even though Venus is sitting in the Libra zodiac, it's still in the Virgo constellation, thus bringing on that, I believe that I said that was Mercury and Venus energy, bringing, like, when I think of like a Mercurian Venusian energy mix, I think real bougie and fancy, very like a connoisseur, pinkies up, let's go. You know what I mean? So the fact that Venus is around there for the next couple days between today and tomorrow, go ahead, get accustomed to being main stage. Put your pinkies up, okay? Delta Argents activity ends. That's one of the meteor showers that we have. Epsilon Geminids reach max activity at 3 an hour. That's coming from the Gemini constellation. Pluto will be visible in the evening. Venus will move into the 3rd house tomorrow as well. So it's moving from that 2nd house, that Oshun energy of materialization, and moving into the 3rd house of communication and community affairs. Juno will be stationary before the prograde. Prograde will go on at 8 p.m. So if you're interested and you're really tapped into your Juno, which is the genius qualities that you overlook in yourself and stuff like that. No, Juno is Hera, right? That's what I said. I don't know. I be going back and forth between the Juno and the Palace. Yeah, Juno is Hera. So it's your bonds with people. Still coming back to that energy of Maya and bringing balance and stuff like that. But 8 p.m. tomorrow, have that conversation. What do you need in a bond? What do you need in a contract? What do you need in a relationship to stay in it? Check into your planetary. Check into your natal chart to find out more about that. October 19th is Wednesday, and that's so cool because my birthday is September 19th, and I was born on a Wednesday. Gang, gang. Anyway, so we're still in that moon of cleansing, the waning crescent moon at 35%. It's going to rise at 12:52 and set at 3:52 in the Leo zodiac energy. The sun is going to rise at 7:14 a.m. The sun will set at 6:13 p.m. The moon and Persepi will be minimal angle at 4:43 p.m. The moon will be 3.2 degrees north-northeast. You'll be able to observe that at 1:13 a.m. with a 6.5 degree east-northeast separation. Persepi being that energy of the Mars of Ogun and the moon. with the moon in alignment with that energy. So definitely find like at nighttime when the moon rises a very strong pull on self into the like some of that hasty energy, because we're slowly the energy is going to start getting hasty as we go into the Scorpio energy. So it's going to be little like pushes and triggers here and there. I'm really telling you to move in your power. Do not let the power move you. The International Space Station will be visible from 6:11 a.m. to 6:20 a.m. The South Pole. Can you bye? The South Pole of the moon will be tilted to view at 4:11 a.m. Venus will reach its maximum brightness on Wednesday as well. The activity of the Leo minorites will begin, and they're beginning at 2 an hour. They're coming from the Leo constellation. Leo minor constellation is by the Ursa Major constellation. The sun will also move into the third house on Wednesday as well. So the sun will be moving from the second house of materialization to the third house of communication and community. You're so silly, Mikey. I see you. Jupiter's moons, Europa and Ganymede, those two moons that Jupiter has, their shadows will actually cross the great red spot on Jupiter. And if you have your telescope and you're up in this Jersey, Philly area, you'll actually be able to see it. And that's going to be at 7:19 p.m. on Wednesday, if you guys want to catch that. I'm going to get me a nice ass telescope, and I want to start doing my planetary forecast outside, and I want to have my telescope. Like, I have a whole vision of how much I want to expand this show. I really love doing this. I've been doing this for like 6 years now, and I just like, I'm always thinking of new things. Anyway, October 20th, which is Thursday, we're still in the waning crescent moon at 26%. The moon is going to rise at 1:55 a.m. and set at 4:19 p.m. We'll be in the Leo zodiac energy. The sun will rise at 4:15 a.m. and set at 6:12 p.m. Venus will be the furthest distance to the Earth. The International Space Station will be seen at 5:24 and 5:32 a.m. The moon and Regulus will be in conjunction at 9:21 a.m. with the moon 4.5 degrees north, and minimal angle will occur at 2:35 p.m. with the moon 3.8 degrees northeast, and you'll be able to observe that at 6:35 a.m. with a 5.1 degree north separation. And Regulus is a star in the Leo constellation. So we're in the Leo zodiac and in the Leo constellation. It's actually 4 stars put together in 2 pairs. It's a little cluster. It's one of the 4 horsemen stars. We have 4 horsemen stars, and this is one of them. It's actually the brightest object in the Leo constellation, and it brings on the energy of glory, riches, power, the royal star. And this is located in the heart of the Lion Leo constellation. Where was I at? What Regulus? And then the activity of the northern Taurus begin, which is coming from the Taurian constellation. The crescent moon occultation will occur around 6:58 a.m. And that's when the crescent moon will be in like a what do you call it? Like an eclipse with the lioness star, with the ETA lioness star, which is located at the chest of the Leo constellation. So you'll see the moon actually get really, really bright, and that's because it'll be in eclipse. We got a few moon eclipse happening. I want to touch on that a little bit, but we definitely do have a partial lunar eclipse happening next week. I forgot. So today, Aries was opposite the sun at 11:30 p.m. For my rebellious babies out there, that's happening at 11:30. Aries will be opposite the sun, so you'll be able to see the sunlight projecting on Aries. Well, you won't see it, but like hopefully you feel it, and you'll want to go do some crazy shit. Tomorrow, October 18th, Cassiopeia, that W constellation that we see in the sky that's around like Lade and the Dragon and shit, those clusters will be visible. And then Juno will create a triangle between Jupiter and Saturn. So it'll be a nice little trine between Juno, your gifts, Jupiter, which is Obatala, you know, your luck and wisdom, and Saturn, which is your, you know, your challenges and stuff like that. So I had to rewind back on those days, but my bad. Let's go back to the 21st. Come back up. October 21st, I believe that's Friday. We'll be in the waning crescent moon, still decluttering, cleansing ourselves. At 18%, the moon will rise at 2:59 a.m. and then it'll set at 4:43 p.m. and we'll be in the Virgo zodiac energy. The sun is going to rise at 7:16 a.m. and it'll set at 6:11 p.m. The International Space Station will be visible from 4:39 a.m. to 4:42 a.m. and then again at 6:12 a.m. to 6:20 a.m. if you want to wave to our friends in space. The Orionids, that meteor shower, will reach their max activity at 25 an hour. So you'll definitely be able to catch a meteor from the Orion's belt, which is by the sun ecliptic. So you'll be able to follow that. Yeah, Pegasus constellation will be rising over our mid sky, at least the Pegasus square, the square body of Pegasus, which is pretty cool because Pegasus brings on the energy of loyalty and mysticism. And then the moon and Ceres, Iris, which is nurturing energy, nourishing energy, is going to be at minimal angle before dawn, with Ceres or Iris at 0.3 degrees north from the moon. So you really want to be in nurturing spaces or be some type of nurturer come Friday. October 22nd, we're still dealing with that decluttered moon of the waning crescent at 11%. The moon is going to rise at 4:03 a.m. and then it's going to set at 5:06 p.m. We'll be in the Virgo zodiac energy. The sun is going to rise at 7:17 a.m. and then set at 6:09 p.m. The International Space Station will be visible from 5:26 a.m. until 5:32 a.m. And then the best visibility of Earthshine on the moon will be just before sunrise on that day. So you'll see like a nice little blue tint going on the moon. There will be an AM visibility of the Virgo constellation. Yeah. Venus will be in superior conjunction behind the sun on that day as well. So Venus will be right behind the sun. It'll be a nice little conjunction going on between the sun being in like Libra energy, about to enter Scorpio energy, and then Venus pretty much doing the same thing. They're kind of trailing behind each other for the next couple days. So your ego will definitely be rooted in that Oshun Oba energy. You're definitely going to feel that. And your ego will be in that energy as well. So that'll be the last, the last minute for those of you guys who want to wait till the last minute to break some things that aren't equal, that you're not feeling that Oshun Oba energy from. That'll be the last minute during this day, the October 22nd, with the conjunctions and stuff, because the very next day we're going to start dealing with Scorpio energy. Okay. And that'll be at 4:40 p.m. Venus will be 1.1 degrees northeast from the sun. All right. Haume, Haumea. This is a goddess. This is a Hawaiian goddess. I'm not too familiar with how to pronounce their gods and goddesses quite yet. But this star is going to be at solar conjunction. It's a part of the Boots constellation. It's a Hawaiian creation goddess. It's a dwarf planet. Its orbital period is about 283 years for a full cycle. It's the goddess of fertility and childbirth. The love of natural processes and nature, period. And then which is cool because it'll be nice, segue into appreciating the energy that we have with the sun moving in Scorpio. And this planet can be found in the Kuiper belt, where you could find way more planets than we have in our little solar system over here. October 23rd, now we're dealing with Saturday. We're still in the waning crescent moon decluttering. We're at 5%. The moon is going to rise at 5:08 a.m. and then set at 5:29 p.m. We're going to be in the Libra zodiac energy. Okay. The sun is going to rise at 17 a.m. and then set at 6:08 p.m. Saturn will be stationary at 2:41 a.m. before prograde. Since early June, Saturn has been in retrograde, so that's cool. Saturn will also be 0.6 degrees northeast of the Iota Capricorni star, which is the Sea Goat constellation, which is fun. The International Space Station, we will be able to view that 4:40 a.m. and then at 4:43 a.m. and then again at 6:13 a.m. and 6:20 a.m. The moon in Parima will be minimal angle at 5:09 p.m. with the moon at 0.8 degrees south-southwest. You'll be able to observe this at 6:29 a.m. with a 4.6 northwest conjunction. Well, Oh yeah, with a 4.6 degree west northwest separation, and then the moon and Parima will be in conjunction at 5:55 p.m. with a zero point 0.9 degree south separation, which is cool because even though the moon will be in Libra zodiac, it'll still be in Virgo constellation, and we know that Parima brings on the energy of Mercury and Venus, so it's that bougie energy coming back. You feel me? We finna be bougie, especially if you're sitting on top of your stars, like I'm telling you. Remember that Empress card. Don't play with me and don't play with yourself. All right. We have the west side crater Grimaldi, which is the west side of the moon. It's going to be tipped into view, so you can see the crater on the moon if you have a telescope. And then the sun is going to enter Scorpio around 8:40 a.m. on the 23rd. And then Venus is going to enter Scorpio about 12 hours later, or like 11. It might be 11:11. It might be 11 hours, 11 minutes later, around 7:30 p.m. So we have the sun entering Scorpio in the morning, and then we have Venus entering Scorpio in the evening. Yo, that's going to be a nice thing. You know what? All right, I'm about to tell y'all my business a little bit. So my Lilith is in Sagittarius. I love having sex. It's fun. But like I used to suppress that side of me or whatever because I felt like, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm a girl, whatever. So like now I'm entering a space and I met somebody who like my Pluto's in Scorpio and my Lilith's in Sag, but he's a Scorpio and Sag stellium. So this nigga been opening my eyes, mind you. So anyway, he's a swinger. So on the 23rd, I'm going to a swinger party. So all that to say, I'm definitely finna be tapped into the Scorpio energy. Anyway, so that's happening. October 24th. So now we have the waning crescent moon. This is on Monday. The waning crescent moon is still here. The moon is going to rise at 6:15 and it's going to set at 5:53 p.m. Oh, let's go back to Sunday. My bad. On Sunday, the sun, moon, Mercury, Venus will all be in Libra at midnight. Okay, at 12 a.m. on Sunday. All that will be in Libra, and it'll be followed up by the Mars and Gemini. So it'll be like a lot of air going on. So if you're up at midnight on the 23rd, which y'all should be, because y'all need to be tapped into the Paranoia Starseed podcast. No, wait a minute. My time zones is fucked up. Y'all can tap into the Paranoia Starseed podcast. But that'd be a nice time to do some breaths. Really breathe in all that air energy that's going on and manifest with that shit. That's a vibe. But let's go back to the 24th, which is on Monday. The sun is going to rise at 7:19 a.m. and it's going to set at 6:06 p.m. The International Space Station, it can be viewed at 5:26 a.m. and to 5:31 a.m. The moon and Mercury will be minimal angle at 10:52 a.m. with a 0.2 degree west-southwest separation. And then another occultation will take place. So there's another eclipse going on Monday between the moon and Mercury, and that's cool. Like really going into your intuitive self and communicating some stuff. You feel me? You're gonna be able to observe that at 6:52 a.m. with a 1.7 degree west northwest conjunction. Oh, west northwest separation, but the conjunction is going to occur at 11:28 a.m. with the moon 0.2 degrees south. My bad, y'all. My handwriting got really small. Moon and Spica. Hey, babe. The moon and Spica will be conjunct at 3:18 p.m. The moon will be 3.3 degrees north. Minimal angle will occur at 6:01 p.m. with the moon 2.9 degrees northeast. So again, just because we're in the Libra zodiac, we're still in the Virgo constellation. You will be in Spica. That's the brightest star in that constellation. So that's always a vibe. And then also the Leo minorites will reach their max activity at 2 an hour. That's coming from the Leo constellation. So y'all can really go outside and ground yourself in these meteor showers. And that is what I had for y'all for the week. And look, I got done at 10 o'clock. On time, so I'm fitting to tap into my interview that I had. So if y'all not doing nothing, y'all want to listen to me to it for another 30 minutes. I'm about to be on Instagram live. I have an interview right now. I go on in like 15 minutes. It was something else I wanted to do. I would make it more on the forefront of my brain to do it, but I got into the natal charts of major cities and states, and I would like to talk more about that on my next planetary forecast. Or even just the next live period, I would like to talk to y'all more about astrocartography. But that's what I had for y'all today. I thank y'all for tapping in. We was here for a minute and y'all like stuck it through, and that's all. I love it. I love it. Thank y'all. I hope y'all got all the knowledge y'all needed. And I will see y'all next Monday. And between here and next Monday, I'll see you on a whole bunch of lives. Catch me at my events. Y'all, I got a whole bunch of events coming up between like next weekend and the beginning of November. Y'all could be on my page. I don't really have much breath or time to like go through them as I usually do, but I'm here. So peace, y'all. Let me end this one.